Medical Center, McBain Hardware, Burkholder Family Funeral Home, Boss Design, Napa Auto and Truck Parts of Cadillac, Big Rapids, and Lake City, L&J Meat Market, McBain Auto and Truck Center and Chad Allen Auto Sales, Welch Buildings, and McLean Transmission and Auto Sales. Now let's head courtside for McBain Rambler Basketball on 107.9 CDY.
And good Friday evening, everybody, and welcome to the gym here at Everett High School for tonight's doubleheader presentation of varsity basketball on 107.9 CDY's. The McBain Ramblers have made the trip south to take on the Everett Wildcats in a girls-boys doubleheader. My usual longtime broadcast partner, good friend and all-around Renaissance man, Gary Huckeye Vanna, enjoying an evening with his granddaughter. And so I have the privilege of being joined by Mr. McBain himself, Lars Fredin. We are coming on the air a little later than we had hoped, and we are about to get the national anthem here in Everett ahead of the girls' game. But we have got a ton to talk about both these games and the Highland Conference contest. They're doing some introduction stuff here that we don't want to interrupt. So we're going to go quiet for a moment, listen to the national anthem, and be back with the starting lineups and the tips. So listen in along with us.
I don't believe myself. Love, Naya. It's also Naya's mother's birthday, so let's sing happy birthday really quick.
Well, I guess we're getting a happy birthday song. That's cool. And whose birthday was it? Lars, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, thanks. Good to be here. Yeah, they're doing some introductions for Everett. This is their snow coming. They had school today. McBain did not have school with some icy roads and some drifts. So the joke at McBain is it's always tough to come off a snow day and then try to play. So that was a special honor for Naya Bell's family.
Very cool. All right, let's listen into the national anthem. Well, I'm going to guess that his distance was just a little too far. It's a shame. Really need a wireless microphone, Lars, attached to Harv Lucas over there at the school, at the scoreboard table, because Harv does a fantastic job. Oftentimes when we're in McBain, we're right next to him so you can hear him. We're a little far away from him here. We're up in the end of one of the baselines up in the bleachers for this one, and we're about to get the Northern Truck Service starting lineups. We're coming to you live from the Burkholder Family Funeral Home broadcast booth. This is the Pluger Mechanical pregame show, licensed and insured for new installations, HVAC services, and light plumbing. Call Aaron at 231-282-3194. That's 282-3194. As I mentioned, the Northern Truck Service starting lineups being announced, and Lars, I love this when a school does this. Manton does a great job with it, and I feel like Everett does a great job with it as well. When they introduce the entire opposing team first,
so they can
and then dim the lights so they can introduce their own kids.
So for McBain, Addie Ridgway, Chelsea Isinga, Peyton Grant, Shannon Maloney, and Isabel Roosevelt. And I'll let you listen in on the darkness. I wish everybody could see this. Right
Oh, we got spotlights. Crowd is clapping along. Oh, Black Betty is playing right now out of the speakers.
Does it remind you of the 90s, the Bulls?
Listen, for one season, I did the pregame intro for Northern Michigan Christian School, and I did use the Bulls music and introduced them in my best imitation of the Bulls PA announcer. It was a heck of a lot of fun, I'm going to tell you right now.
Did you do the lights too?
I don't remember if they did any lights or not. I don't remember, to be honest with you. It's a great question, though.
So Everett's coming off a loss to Manton. Manton has really stormed back in the second half. They're a young team. Sophomore Aubrey Hiller doing a great job up there. They really took it to Everett. Hit some threes like crazy. Everett did hold Aubrey to 8 points, but she had a ton of assists. And this Lillian Chittle, a freshman for Manton, had 18 points. So a lot of weapons up there at Manton. They're going to be a dangerous team to face in the playoffs. McBain took the first game from Everett up at McBain. And now, snow coming here in Everett.
Yeah, the Highland Conference on the boys and girls side, both sides, is super, super tight, as that's a rarity, not even contested on the jump ball controlled by McBain. Go ahead, Lars.
Peyton Grant, junior, has the ball, looking for Chelsea Isinga. Senior, stolen by Kyra Gray. Kyra, the stud, blocked by Peyton Grant. Great block by Grant there. Grant driving down the lane against four of them, puts it up, misses, and Elder almost had the rebound. Addie Ridgway has it. Chelsea Isinga up top, hit by Gray, and that's one thing Gray's going to have to avoid is foul trouble. Gray is the stud on the Everett team. Sean Gray is her dad. Addie Gray up at Mid-Michigan, playing both basketball and softball up there. Kyra, pitcher for the softball team, won the state championship for Everett. Lobbed in, Teed knocks it away. Kyra gets the steal. Kyra's guarded by Shannon Maloney, kind of the defensive stopper for McBain. Going to be a travel on Everett. Izzy Rose, who's going to be your broadcast partner here on Tuesday against Cadillac.
Yeah, Izzy will be making her CDY debut, up for a big award through the MHSAA for her work with the Rambler Review. And she will join me for the Cadillac McBain boys basketball game on Tuesday night here on CDY.
Grant setting up the play. Chelsea and Shannon run into each other, knocked away. It's going to state McBain ball on the sideline. Chelsea Isinga is going to pull the trigger. McBain going left to right on your right to left on your radio dial. Chelsea struggling to get it in. 5-second call, a turnover. Nice defense by Everett.
And Lars, I don't often know a lot of these officiating crews. I'm actually familiar with this particular officiating crew, and they're a solid one. They're a good one.
This is the A team for the Cadillac area.
Yep.
Matt Corliss, Will Eubanks, and Tim Feckety. Nice movement by Everett. Ball goes down the middle. Miller puts it up. Rebounded by Isabel Roosevelt. It's 6:52, 0-0. Shannon, surprised she actually caught that. Steps in. Oh, it almost looked like it went in from up here.
It's a bad angle on our part.
Teed gets the rebound for Everett. 0-0 still.
Nice job by the Wildcats in stopping that fast break.
In the corner, driving. McBain likes to trap on that baseline. Teed long two. Teed for 2 points.
Just inside the three-point line, but good-looking bank was open late here in Everett.
Addie Ridgway trying to get it over Kyra Gray's long arms. Down low to Izzy Rose. Izzy had a huge game. Izzy for 2 points. Isabel had a huge game against Shannon, guarding up with Kyra, trying to keep her in check. 3-point attempt, way too long. Peyton Grant with the rebound. Peyton passes it down, but Kyra's right there. How many steals now for Kyra? She's going to she should have Euro'd that. Passes it out. Misses, and She got her own rebound. It's going to be a jump ball, but Bumgardner, nice job for Everett. Jocelyn Bumgardner, a senior. She was on the softball team. State champs. You know, looking at the Highland, McBain boys went to the semis last year. Football champs for Beale City. Baseball champs for Beale City. Softball champs for Everett. Well represented. Foul as Emily Miller puts it up and Isabel Roosevelt gets the foul. Nice inbounds play by Everett.
Yeah, Izzy following on the play. Just got in a little too close with the body.
So a few too many turnovers for McBain. Everett looking to capitalize. They go up 3-2 on the made free throw by Emily Miller. Second attempt coming up. 5:41 to go in the first. Second one's good. 4-2. Full court pressure.
If I could shoot free throws like that, Lars, I'd play more often on Sunday nights.
They don't call fouls, right?
No. I mean, I'd get to play in the next game.
Oh, right.
Lose. Yeah, I never
I
can
gotcha,
make my
I
free
gotcha.
throw. Yeah.
Peyton Grant, nice give and go. Passed across. Stolen by Miller. Sent over to Teed going up. Had an open look at a three. Decided not to take it after she hit that two just inside the line. Kyra driving in against Shannon. They're going to get a push on one of them. It's either going to be Izzy or Shannon.
I think that's going to be on Shannon.
Shannon with that aggressive defense. First sub of the game is going to be Michaela Van Polen for Chelsea Isinga. Michaela is a sophomore, but I think she's the tallest one on the team, and she plays guard. Drives down the lane. Elder had knocked away. Everett picks it up. Kyra looking to drive. Shake and bake. Off to the corner. Elder down low. That's going to be a foul on Addie Ridgway. So McBain getting in a little foul trouble. 3 team fouls now.
Well, we talked about how this is one of the best crews in northern Michigan, certainly in the Cadillac area, Lars, and they don't play. They're not going to let you put hands on an offensive player when that's not legal.
Nia Bell comes in for Miller. Stolen by Grant. Grant through a double team. Grant passes down to Ridgway. From our advantage point, that looked like it was off a black jersey, but it's going to stay McBain ball.
Well, head coach Sean Gray would agree with you. He's asking, is that Will in front of him? Asking him very politely. Sir, I do believe you touched the black jersey.
Indubitably. Inbounds play. Michaela pulling the trigger. Grant has it at the three-point line. Getting hip checked by Jocelyn Bumgardner. Free throw attempt, a little long. Teed, not the tallest in there, but knows how to use her body, gets the rebound. Kaya brings it up, guarded by Van Polen. Drives down the lane, knocks it out. Is it touched? Nope. Turnover by Everett. McBain ball. 4:36 in the first. Everett up 4-2.
Nearly halfway through this quarter, Lars, 4-2. This is the defensive battle we expected to see. I expected to see.
Full court pressure. Bumgardner is guarding Grant. Izzy comes out, gets knocked away. Nia Bell reaches in and grabbed the arm, going for the ball.
Yeah, trying to come in from the backside.
Doing the Michael Jordan steal.
Caught with her hand in the cookie jar.
Timeout by McBain.
What do we got?
Looks like a 30-second.
It is a 30. Yeah, we'll keep it here, because that'll give me a chance, Lars, to remind people that if you are leaving our listening area, you can still listen to the dulcet tones of Lars, Mr. McBain for Dean. Just head on over to 1079cdy.com, click the game logo, whether it's a football game logo or basketball, doesn't matter, either will work. It'll take you to YouTube. You can listen to us streaming on YouTube anywhere in the world where you've got a solid internet connection, and we have had people literally across the world listen to our games. You can also just go to YouTube and search for CDY Sports. Streaming brought to you by McLean Transmissions.
Inbounded to Grant. Grant dribbles, picks it up, passes it to Michaela. Kind of went through her hands. Teed gets a steal. Teed a dominant presence out there right now. Kaya Gray dribbles right by McBain, puts it up for two. Kaya took on 2 defenders and scored.
Too easy.
McBain setting up the play, passes over to Addie Ridgway, down low, knocked away by Teed. Trying to get it inside to Izzy Rose.
Tell you, Lars, the defensive effort and intensity from the Wildcats right now, playing in front of the home crowd, wanting to get back at the Ramblers, wanting to stay in this race, they're playing at a higher level right now.
Michaela Van Polen pulled the trigger on the inbound. Michaela Blood misses a 5-footer. Kaya controls the rebound, dribbling down. Sophomore on her. Oh, she thought her teammate was staying there, and she zigged when she was supposed to zag. Addie Ridgway bringing it back down court, passes it down low. Kaya steals it.
Got to be at least her 4th of the game.
Kaya puts it up tall off the heel. Addie Ridgway, kind of a spark plug in there. Passes it to Addie. Addie dribbling down. Michaela Blood gets for 2. McBain trying full court press. Timeout Sean Gray. He wants his players to come up. This is a 30-second timeout. So 6-4 with 3:20 to go. Both teams full court pressing. Trying to keep the ball out of the studs, if you will, which would be Peyton Grant for McBain and Kaya Gray for Everett. So Sean's talking about the press break, talking about settling down, talking about the zigzag. That's the cool part about this crow's nest up here, the nosebleed section, is you can look down into his timeout.
Kind of get an idea of what he's talking about from the hand motions.
Everett in the home whites, McBain with the black jerseys with green trim and yellow numbers. Everett brings it up with Kayla Winters, and she's going to get the travel called on her. Turnover for Everett. Teed got a 10-second break. She's going to come back in for Winters. There might not be a lot of subbing this game.
No, I'd be shocked if either coach went more than 7 or 8 deep at the most, probably 7.
Chelsea has it on the corner. Addie Ridgway looking to post up down low against Teed. Gets it, but gets stolen. Bumgardner with the steal, looking to bring it up. Passes it over to Gray. Gray down to Teed. Teed gets blocked by Izinga. Up to Gray. Passes up on the 3. That one gets kicked out of bounds by Blood. We'll say Everett ball.
On this end, Lars, the Wildcats, they're denying the entry pass really, really well, but they're also double and triple teaming anybody on the block. The other Ramblers, they got to move to help that entry pass.
Yeah, it looks like McBain's trying just a post-up offense, and there's 4 Everett defenders down low. Nice box out by Grant. Grant gets the rebound. Grant, big pass down to Blood, and it's through her hands. Maybe a little mustard on that one. That's a Jay Simons pass in basketball, isn't it? With the heat on it.
Jay Simon needs to give up basketball.
Gray gets the ball, passes it over to Teed, back to Gray. Just a 2-man press for McBain. Gray kind of walks it over, setting up the offense. It's a 5-out offense for Everett. A lot of pass and cut. Everett dribbling around, gets it back up to Gray. A little higher for a 3-point shot. Nia Bell in the corner. Up to Teed, guarded by Blood. Elder driving through. Tries to split the defense. Stolen by Grant. Passed over. Addie putting it down. Gets hit by Teed. No call. And Kaya Gray, nice tall guard, gets the rebound. They're going to get a reach in. Jay has a little, didn't see much contact.
Thought there was an awful lot of ball, but listen, that's why I'm up here and not down there. It's a good time to remind everybody, Lars, that the 2 toughest jobs in the universe are mothering and officiating, and I want nothing to do with either one.
Teed has it up top, gets a nice screen. Gray 4-3. They're going to get an illegal screen.
Yeah.
That is on Elder. Kira Elder's a junior. She's a scrappy, kind of a shorter kid. No offense to any of the vertically challenged people out there. But
isn't everybody under 6'1", shorter too?
Good, yeah.
I mean, it's not their fault.
Addie dribbles across timeline and then picks it up. Michaela Van Polen gets it. Pressured by Bell. Gets a screen, kind of stuck in the corner. Addie has it. Going against Elder, driving down the lane. Gets hit by Teed. A lot of contact. Teed didn't think so, but Will Eubanks makes the call.
Yeah, the Wildcat faithful on that side of the court didn't agree with it either, but
a lot of lower body.
Looked like a good call to me.
So Eddie Ridgway is going to go to the line. A little strong on that. It's still 6-4. Not a high-scoring game right now. A couple refs are talking. Holding up the next free throw. There's a conversation going on. I'm not sure if they're going to ask.
They're going to talk to the AD, something they don't like.
Let's just say it would not be the first time a fan got kicked out of a game.
No, it would not. This crew doesn't mess around.
It might be the noisemakers, honestly. Everett's got these inflatable yellow.
They don't seem like they make
sticks.
a ton of noise, but.
So they're going to collect those. It's going to take some time. The person that ordered them from Amazon is going, I just wasted my money on this. So Addie Ridgway is going to shoot her second.
So now they're going to make noise the old-fashioned way, and it works, and so they love it. Yeah.
They earned it. They say that was off Adria Roosevelt. Ayla Ferdine came into the game.
Ferdine, where have I heard that name?
She's going to be the assignment on Gray. Lobbed over. Ayla's chasing. Gray right down the middle, up and two.
Boy, Kyra Gray with a head of steam is frightening.
Addie Ridgway up top, looking to set up the offense. Has Blood in the corner. Peyton Grant has a shorter Gray on her. They're looking to post her up. Addie has it up top at the logo.
Yeah, that's the freshman Gray defending
Quincy.
A little crossover, thought about the step back.
Addie driving down the middle, passes it to Roosevelt, misses, almost too far underneath. They're going to claim that Kyra was out of bounds when she touched it.
Yeah, that was a great look, though. Really, really nice look.
So 48 seconds.
By Addie Ridgway.
Yeah. Lobbed over. Adria wants it back down low. Blood looking to drive. And they're going to get a travel call. I always love the fact that you can Euro for like 3.5 steps, but you can't stop and it looks awkward.
As long as you take off, it seems like that's
Wide open fast break by Nia Bell. Misses. Blood's there for the rebound. Wow, McBain's going to have to clean up that part of their press. Over to Ferdine. Ferdine fakes. Double team, passes low, Blood, person on her back. Oh, it rims out. Such a good look.
20 seconds to go here in the first.
Kaya looking to drive by Ferdine. Oof. Oh, they're going to get Addie Ridgway with a block. She stepped over. She's holding her gut. That was a lot of contact there.
Was that Ridgway or?
That was
Eddie Roosevelt.
Roosevelt with the foul. A couple subs going to come in after this free throw. 15.8 on the clock in the first. Gray's putting up 2 shots because McBain's in the bonus. There is no 1-and-1 in high school anymore.
Did I ever tell you I went a whole half a season not realizing that? I'm so confused.
Yep, second year of that rule where 5 fouls in a quarter, they're shooting 2, but in the second quarter, it'll all clear out. Girls college does that, but college men does not yet. They still have 1-on-1. Missed the shot, 10 seconds to go. Addie Ridgway driving down the lane, passes it over to Chelsea. Chelsea puts it up. You know, that's what you need to do. You need to shoot it when you're in there. Chelsea's going to go to the line, not a ton of contact, but she was aggressive on the shot, made it happen.
Yeah, force the defenders to do something.
So Isinga Senior will put up 2 shots. That one's nothing but net. String music. 3.8 to go. Everett's going to try to get a look at a long shot. Stepped in, so if Chelsea misses, they should get another one. It went in, so no problems there. It's 9-5. 3.8. 1 second. Naya doesn't realize it, and the time's going to go off before a shot attempt at the end of the first quarter. It is 9-6. The scoreboard was slow on me to get the free throw in.
It was. We'll take a quick break. Second quarter action coming your way right after this.
Truck Brokers of Cadillac has a new name and location. Allen's Auto and RV can now be found at the former Galvanics on M55 west of Cadillac. Here's what hasn't changed. A lot full of rust-free trucks, cars, and SUVs brought right here to the Cadillac area from southern and western climates that aren't harsh on vehicle bodies. The friendly service you've come to expect hasn't changed either. You'll also find a great selection of budget-friendly choices, plus a salvage yard offering used parts to the public, RV service, and outdoor storage. Allen's Auto and RV, M55 west of Cadillac. L&J Meat Market is just about the closest you can get to farm-to-table dining. Fill your freezer and fire up the grill with the exceptional taste and quality that only locally sourced meat can provide. Meat from L&J is carefully processed and prepared to be the freshest and most flavorful you'll taste. And L&J is committed to supporting local farmers. Buy by the pound or fill your freezer with money-saving beef, chicken, or sampler bundles. And eat for months on end. L&J Meat Market is a proud supporter of McBain Ramblers Sports. Maury Road, just south of Lake City.
And welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars, Mr. McBain, Fredine, McBain, and Everett in a defensive battle right now. Wildcats with a 9-6 lead as we get the second quarter underway.
Peyton Grant puts up a three, misses. Fredine gets the rebound. It squirms out of her hands. Teed controls it. Nia Bell bringing it up. Guarded by Grant. Knocked away by Roosevelt. Isabel picks it up. Peyton Grant looking to run an offense. Everett's defense is solid. Nice pass down to Izzy Rose. Knocked away. Going to get the foul on Nia Bell. Isabel Roosevelt will shoot two. Nice transition defense by Everett. Nothing's easy. McBain ran a pick and roll play. Nice pass by Grant. But McBain is not hitting the layups, though.
Yeah, the Ramblers have had some looks down low, and they've got a decided size advantage against the Wildcats, but the Wildcats are doing such a great job of fronting and backing the post players that it's making the entry passes very, very difficult, and they're trying to put these shots up amid at least two pairs of hands every time.
Miller and Bumgardner come in for Everett. Izzy made her first free throw. It's 9-7. Second one up is good. 9-8. Full court pressure.
So despite the turnovers and the missed free throws, just a one-point game.
Teed, more of a forwards, bringing it up. McBain looks like they're in a 2-3 zone. Shannon Maloney up top on that. Grant knocks it away. Goes out of bounds, though. Sean Gray calling out the instructions for players, his players.
Yeah, pretty easy instructions.
Yeah.
Go get the ball.
Yeah. Bumgardner inbounding it. Knocked away by Grant again. You know,
Grant's got about a, 7'4" wingspan?
That is a good point. She's the guard, but she grew like a foot over the summer. I'm always thinking, man, we should post her up down low. She's got all the moves. She's so quick. You know, state track athlete, if you will. Went to state in a couple events. Gray trying to drive through. Oh, Summers gets tripped. Isabel slipped. She's on the ground, and Summers steps over her and trips. So foul on Izzy.
Second on Roosevelt.
So little sister Roosevelt will go in for, we should call her MC Roosevelt. She's going to be at the mic. MC Izzy. There we go. Passed in. Gray right back to Teed. Teed driving down. Summers has it on the outside. Drives through the zone. Takes an extra step. Refs call the travel. Nia Bell's going to come in for Summers. Everett picking up half court. Both McBain and Everett are now half court. Probably saving their athletes for the long road ahead. Like you said, there might not be much subbing. Thrown away by McBain. One of those zigzag issues where McBain's point guard thought she was going to come out and she cut. McBain backing it up after they got beat a couple times on the press. They're picking them up at half court. Such a big game, but it's good to see, like, Kira Elders down there got a big smile on her face, kind of laughing because, I don't know, they can't find the ball or something got wet.
Yeah, they're wiping something up off on the baseline. I'll tell you too, Lars, the crowd has at least increased by about 30% since this game started. I know a lot of people maybe only half interested in the girls' game, which is a shame because this is a great game. But people showing up early for the boys' game is swelling the crowd. So if you're not here already, you're going to have trouble finding a seat in this place.
Hey, we got room up here.
Not too close, though.
Gray back to Teed. Teed bringing it up, guarded by Isinga. McBain in a zone. Teed drives down. Nia Bell. Oh, it gets blocked by Roosevelt, and the foul is going to be called. Nia Bell's going to go to the line. 9-8.
Great look from Teed. Hawkeye would have been proud with the gorgeous one-handed bounce pass. Nia Bell trying to get the first points of this quarter on the board for the Wildcats.
So both Roosevelts have 2 fouls. Caleb Blood's going to come in. I think it hit every part of the rim and still went in, so
that is called a home roll.
Nia Bell with her first free throw puts Everett up 10-8. Nia's second one is up and off to the left. Shannon Maloney gets the rebound, gets double teamed, passes it over to Grant. Grant sees a wide open Blood, chooses not to, brings it up. Behind the back move, Michaela sees Blood wide open. Nia passes over to Chelsea Isinga off glass and good. Nice assist by Blood to 1, hang on to it, and 2, get it to the wide open McBain player underneath. It is 10-10.
Good patience by McBain down there, not trying to force something.
Big 3 by Bumgardner. Rebounded by Chelsea Isinga. That would have been a huge hit. That would have got the crowd into it. You say there's a big crowd, but if you're listening, you don't hear the big crowd.
No, they're relatively quiet right now.
Blood thought about it, gets Michaela Van Polen, does the Euro, and 2. You know, some refs don't let girls do that. Have you noticed, though?
Yeah,
Seriously?
girls aren't allowed to drop step, apparently. Yeah. No, that was a great move.
To me, it's the Bizball moves. Bizballs were great at it from Lake City.
Absolutely.
Miller over to Gray. Gray guarded by Van Polen, spins on her, takes it down low, it's up, and oh, it's halfway down and
out. Wow.
Rim's out.
That's her home rim. How does that not fall?
Yeah, I guess they used it all up on Nia's free throw. 5:18 in the second. Gray's gonna go to the line to try to tie this game up.
So Van Polen picks up her second.
That one got the home roll.
Wow.
It hit the rim 4 times and fell. 1 point lead for McBain. Gray looking to tie it up.
The good news is the Ramblers get to shoot on that rim in the second half.
This one's string music. She has it measured in. Van Polen takes it out for Grant. Bell will pick her up at half court. Grant dribbles by, looking for someone to come to the ball. Everybody's going away, actually. Michaela has it at the logo. Van Polen dribbling around. Kind of a gimmick defense by Everett. 2 are stained, so triangle in 2, box in 1. We'll have to look at that closer to see what they're running there.
Well, and Coach O'Malley wants a timeout. It's a full timeout. We will take a break. 12-12, 4:59 to go in the second quarter here in Everett. We'll be back right after this.
High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
And welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars, Mr. McBain Fredine. Connor Hammer, our producer and engineer. Turn the dials back in the studio. A trooper, Connor, a little under the weather, but he is at his post. He's like the U.S. Post Office, Lars. He knows the job's got to be done, and he is in there doing the job. Doing the job is the defenses of these two teams, the Everett Wildcats and the McBain Ramblers, in this girls varsity basketball contest, a key Highland Conference matchup, knotted at 12 as we come back out of the timeout.
Grant gets it in the corner on the inbounds, throws it way over to Isinga across court. Looking to set something up. Takes Elder off the dribble. Passes to Blood. Blood in the corner for three. Off. Peyton Grant gets a rebound. Gets hit by Teed. No call. Van Polen gets it. No call. McBain battles each other for the rebound. And Kira Elder comes away with it.
I can't imagine trying to determine whether or not anybody's making contact with an arm in that sea of arms down low. It's just, like I said, just an impossible job. Kudos to these gentlemen and women in black and white stripes that do this every night so these kids can play.
McBain in their half-court zone. Everett passing the ball at the half-court line. Gets Kyra Gray in the corner. Good ball movement, no dribbles. That one's tough. Kyra picks it up. It almost got knocked away. Isinga was there. Nia Bell puts up a three. Too long. Isinga gets it. Double teamed as she's trying to dribble out. Passes over to Grant. Grant bringing it across half court. Has Miller on her. Drives down. Lost it in the air. Gray gets the rebound.
That's a nice move by Gray. Just couldn't quite finish with the right.
Gray has it at half court and pulling on. Passes to Elder. Elder drives down low. Gets caught. Tough pass over to Bell. Oh, they call a foul. Almost got a 5-second call. They're going to get Maloney, or was it on someone else?
And I apologize. It was a great move by Grant, not Gray.
That one is on Chelsea Isinga.
Chelsea Isinga, yeah. That's her first. Fourth on the Ramblers in this quarter.
Miller has it. Teed up top, looking at Gray. Teed gets hit by Maloney, and good drive by Teed.
Yeah, that was a great drive. She saw the opening on the right-hand side, pounded it with the right hand down the right side of the lane, and Maloney coming over late just got her with the body. Pretty easy call there.
The whole defensive effort is to try to stop Gray, so really for Everett, who's going to step up? Freshman Hoydinga going to check into the game, see if she can make an impact. Eddie Ridgway comes in also. So Maloney and Blood come out.
I don't even have a freshman Hoydinga.
Yeah, so this is Ashlyn Hoydinga, super great athlete. That one's called off because Everett stepped into the lane too soon. That's not one you want to see if you're Sean Gray, taking point opportunities away from your own players.
Hoydinga's number 24?
Yep. Okay. Peyton Grant walks it across half court, passes it over to Isinga. It goes off Isinga's foot, and Gray tries to pick it up. And it's going to be a jump ball at half court. Good effort by both girls, but there must be some slime on that ball.
Yeah, Isinga and Gray both checking the legs for floor burns as they both gave up everything to go after that loose ball.
Little Gray, Quincy Gray, will come in for Everett. Teed pulls the trigger on the inbounds on the sideline. Lob down low to Gray. What a great move.
Oh my gosh, what a great move, but what a great pass by Teed to find her.
Grant bringing it up. McBain down by 2, looking to set something up. Fakes it. Another zigzag. Oh!
Yeah, Grant thought she was going to backdoor.
That is...
Ridgway did not commit.
It's at least 2 turnovers that way, probably more. Van Polen, full court pressing Gray. Gray behind the back. McBain in this zone. Passing across. Quincy Gray driving in. Wow, Quincy goes up and she gets this stutter step travel call.
Yeah, she tried to jump stop, Lars, and you can't, you technically have to land on both at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. If you have any kind of gap between that landing, officials see that as 3 steps and they will call it.
2:51 in the second quarter. Everett up by 2, 14-12. Eddie Gray, not Eddie Ridgway. Oh. The bank is open for 3. She had her debit card and she made a withdraw.
That's our first Welch Building LLC triple of the game.
Gray drives down. Rebounded by Hoydinga. Hoydinga, a good athlete as a freshman. Young team out there with one freshman, two sophomores. Chelsea Heisiga looking to match it, and she does. Whoa, that was the hometown roll, but Everett didn't like that because it's a three for McBain. It is 18-14. Gray at half court, gets a high screen from Teed, drives down. Is it the three-point shoot and show? It is. Miller, no, that's Bumgardner. Jocelyn Bumgardner making it a one-point game.
Sometimes all it takes is one crack in the seal.
Down low to Hoydinga, off glass, misses, but gets it back. Puts it back up again. I like the height down there for McBain. They're better banking it on threes. They're close shots, aren't they? Gray right by, a little too strong. Grant gets the rebound.
It's shocked by the lack of contact.
1:34 to go. Passes over to Addie Ridgway. Addie dribbling left, passes it up to Van Polen. Boy, Hoydinga and Van Polen look a lot alike, don't they?
Sure do.
Ridgway in the corner. 1:16 to go. Grant has it. Bumgardner on her. Van Polen looking to get some cuts for McBain. A lot of screening going on. Heisiga thought about it. Drives in. Throws up the hook. A lot of contact. No call. Gray gets the rebound. Sees Miller driving down. Miller goes up. A little bit blocked by Hoydinga.
Yeah, that's a good block by Hoydinga. Used her superior height there. Kept the body away.
Kira Elder doing a nice job. Oh. Call the foul.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get the carry.
Yeah.
I thought for sure the carry was coming.
Just going to respond to Elder's great defense. They're not letting the shooters, because Addie Ridgway had a really good game against Everett last time they played. Call a 5. Good defense by Everett, forcing the turnover.
When was the last time you saw 2 5-second calls in a game, Lars? It's like the NFL play clock, right?
Yeah.
It's like the 0, and then there's another beat, and then they make the call.
Yeah. Are you saying it was a little quick? I don't think you were.
No, I'm not necessarily. It's just you don't often see 5-second calls, that's all.
Ferdine and Blood trapping Gray.
This is probably how they're supposed to be called.
Knocked away by Hoydinga.
I got to be careful. Tim will listen back to this broadcast and tell me everything I said wrong.
I seriously think they do. I know Matt Corliss watches, if it's on NFHS or Rambler Review, he'll watch the games to
No, Tim will
learn.
listen to see if I said anything about it. That's what I'm saying.
Ferdine on Gray. Gray passes it out. Another 3 put up, missed. Kiera Elder puts it up. Fight for the rebound. McBain gets it. Ridgway has it. Passes over to Hoydinga. 19 seconds to go. Ridgway dribbles up. Oh, Ferdine had a look on the edge. Ferdine has it. Looking to drive by Miller. Drives, gets hit, and misses. Teed gets the rebound. 3 seconds to go for Gray. She's going to do a half-court shot. She gets shoved, and it almost goes.
That was a fine job by Gray to try and draw the call. Ferdine definitely put her hand on her hip, which she probably shouldn't have done in that situation, but Gray trying to draw the call, doesn't get it, and that's going to end the first half of play here at Everett. 18-17, the Ramblers with the lead over the host Wildcats in this absolutely key Highland Conference girls basketball contest. We'll take a break. The McBain Hardware halftime show's coming your way. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back right after this.
With over 20 years of WIC construction under his belt, Welch Buildings owner and president Nick Welch has built a company based on the values that helped him earn multiple awards from WIC and a growing list of happy customers. From tool sheds to dairy barns, Welch Buildings has an experienced crew team with a diverse set of subcontractors to expertly handle heating, plumbing, and concrete. See for yourself at welchbuildings.com and call for a quote. 740-403-5354. Welch Buildings of Luther.
Featuring new healthcare services, including walk-in testing, online appointments for COVID and flu testing, and vaccines. McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is your first and one-stop for your family's health. Go to McBainFamilyPharmacy.com to set up your appointment today and see the difference local makes. proud local supporter of the McBain Ramblers.
McBain Transmissions in Lake City services vehicles, foreign and domestic, specializing in transmissions, transfer cases, differentials, high-performance driveline, 4x4s, clutches, and computer diagnostics. For anything transmission and quality used cars, it's McBain Transmissions on LaChance Road between Cadillac and Lake City. Call 231-779-1394. That's 231-779-1394.
Welcome to McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, home of the Ramblers and the Gold Star rated Little Wheels preschool program, where the youngest members start strong, surrounded by the care and support they need to thrive. And McBain, we're technology leaders, providing each student with one-to-one Apple devices to power their learning journey. And it's not just about academics. The award-winning band and choir programs let students explore their talents and share their voice. McBain students are taught to feel the wheel. They're welcoming, honest, engaged, empathetic, and leaders who are prepared for their future. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, where students learn locally and compete globally.
18-17, the McBain Ramblers lead the Everett Wildcats here at Everett High School. Girls varsity basketball action, Highland Conference variety, brought to you here on 107.9 CDY in part by Huttinga Electric, McLean Transmission, Napa Auto and Truck Parts, Cadillac Big Rapids and Lake City, the Burkholder Family Funeral Home, and McBain Hardware. And this is the McBain Hardware halftime show. Our sincere thanks to each and every one of our broadcast partners. Couldn't do it without them. If you get a chance to stop in and say hi to any of them, we encourage you to do so. Let them know you heard them mentioned here on this broadcast, and thank them for allowing us to bring these games to you. We are at halftime. Doubleheader action tonight. The girls will be followed by the boys. We didn't have much of a Pluger Mechanical pregame show, but we did touch on it a little bit, Lars, and I think it's probably important to touch on it a little bit more here now at halftime. But the Highland Conference race on the boys' side is tight, but the Ramblers control their own destiny. On the girls' side, it is wide open. You've got 3 teams with 2 losses and a third with 3 losses, and there's a lot of basketball left to be played.
There is. We're not even midway through February. March Madness, like the girls are a week after the boys. So the boys will play February Madness. Can we even coin that?
Can we call
because
it? Yeah.
the last week of February is the boys' district. So girls,
February frivolity.
girls do go into March for that. So there is a lot of games to be played. Like I said earlier, Manton is probably the scariest team right now. They took it to Ever this last week. McBain won their game earlier this week. So that is the log jam at the top of the conference.
The Ramblers just lost to Manton at Manton recently, right?
Yep. So Manton's young, 2 sophomores and a freshman lead their squad. Ever has a senior heavy team with Kyra Gray doing a lot of the dirty work, but man, Madison Teed is amazing out there, controlling the rebounds, passing to Gray on the cuts on that inbound play, just doing a great job. And then the bank started opening, the 3-point shot started falling. But honestly, 17-18 is not a barn burner here.
It is not. You're absolutely right. Those 2 back-to-back threes by the Ramblers from Addie Ridgway and Chelsea Eisenga kind of looked like it was going to break it open for the Ramblers. It took a 4-point lead, which I can tell you with confidence is the largest lead of this game at 4 points. But then the Wildcats able to answer. Jocelyn Bumgartner hitting a corner 3. And it's been pretty much back and forth. Like I said, 4 points being the largest lead, and that was for a heartbeat. So we expected a tight one. We're getting a tight one. We expected a defensive battle. We're getting a defensive battle, but the teams aren't really helping themselves either. There's been a lot of sloppy-ish, can I use that word?
Yeah,
turnovers in this game that it kind of created by the defense, but maybe a little bit of just the pressure of playing in such a big game.
It's
too.
either nerves or they went to the concession stands and got popcorn because they are not catching anything. And a lot of it, you're right, the reaching in, down low, there's a lot of hands going at a ball. We kind of joked about how 2 McBain girls knocked the ball away from each other on a rebound.
Yep.
But you don't know who you're rebounding against. It's almost like you should have green or white wristbands so you can see whose hands are up there. But
Right. That's a teammate. Hey, let's run down the scoring from the first half. For the Wildcats, they were led unsurprisingly by the standout senior Kyra Gray. She's got a game-high 9 points in that first half, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. Jocelyn Bumgardner hit the 3. She's got 3 points. Emily Miller is 2 for 2 from the line. Maddie Teets got a bucket and a few assists as well. And then Nia Bell, 1 of 2 from the line for a point to round it out for the Wildcats, who are 6 of 10 from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, the Ramblers were paced by Chelsea Eisinga, who has 7 points, including a 3 and a couple of free throws. They got 4 out of Izzy Roosevelt down low, and at the line, Addie Ridgway with the triple in that second quarter, and then a bucket apiece from Michaela Van Polen and Michaela Blood. It's not Michaela Van Polen. Is it Michaela?
It is Michaela.
It's just spelled differently? All right, I don't know. I don't trust my own handwriting here. Van Polen and Blood, bucket apiece to round out the scoring for the Ramblers, who are 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. Notably absent from the names I just read off. Lars, Peyton Grant, the standout for the Ramblers.
You know, honestly, Peyton's going to get the best defender all year long. She had a great freshman and sophomore season. This is her junior year. And if you're going to stop McBain, you're thinking, we got to stop that awesome point guard up at McBain. And most teams have focused on her all year. She was injured with an ankle injury earlier in the year, and that forced some other girls to step up at point and kind of build some confidence. And then when Grant gets back in, they're kind of a well-oiled machine at trusting everybody. Because it used to be, get the rebound, get it to Grant. Get the rebound, get it to Grant. I think I can drive, but I should let Peyton have it. And I think they're trusting themselves a little bit more as the season comes on. And you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of February, beginning of March. So all of these are for a nice conference hunt, but you're still got the big prize in your target, and that is the MHSA playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes one of the best things that can happen to a team is to have your best player miss a little bit of time. You don't really want that, obviously, but like you said, it forces other players to step up and discover what they're capable of doing, because your safety valve isn't out there on the floor, and sometimes it can benefit the team as they move forward. Wildcats are back out on the floor, as are the Wildcats mascots.
Yes.
Following around, drawing up interest for that 50-50 raffle, or there's a raffle for a a pizza oven that's going on here. There's a group that's going to Washington, D.C. next March, so a year from March, and they're raising money, raffling off a pizza oven here in Everett. So they're going around hitting up this sizable crowd. I'll tell you right now, Lars, there may not be more than a half dozen spots to sit on the Everett side of this gym, and the McBain side's pretty well filled as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of room left now that the boys basketball team went to get changed and have their pregame talk. But if they're coming in for the boys game, which I imagine a lot more will, they might have to pull these bleachers out, and I don't think they can with all the weight equipment behind us.
Yeah, they might have to do it on the other end. I don't know if they can on that side either. It doesn't look like they've had to do it all that often.
It's a nice setup here, though, in the Everett gym.
It is. There's not a great deal of bleacher space, and there's not a great deal of ceiling space. It's that divider at center court reminds me of Northern Michigan Christian School, where the ceiling's a little low and that divider can get in the way of volleyball, but it's probably enough room. It just feels shorter because we're way up here at the top at one baseline. Our thanks to the Wildcat staff for putting us up here.
McBain's going to get the ball coming out of the second half. They have a 1-point lead. 1 half to go to see who takes control in the conference to be tied with Manton.
This has been the McBain Hardware halftime show. 18-17 Ramblers with the lead as we start the second half.
Grant will get it up top. Everett looks like they're in a man-to-man. Grant drives down the lane, gets fouled, kind of loses the ball in the air, so she didn't get a good shot off, but she's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
And I'll be honest, Lars, I expect to see maybe a little more aggression out of Grant. Maybe it's just to start this third quarter, kind of testing the waters and see what she can do going to the hole.
First one is smooth. That one's good. 2-point lead for McBain.
Another big point, Lars. Third foul on Maddie T.
Tim Feckerty picking up a penny off the court, looking at the year to see if it's worth retiring on. I'm just, probably a popcorn or something, but
That's something Tim would do.
second one's no good, but Izzy Rose gets the rebound, dribbles out, goes through the double team and scores. I was like, why is she going that way? Oh, because she's doing the move.
The move.
Gray against Maloney. Maloney, I think, with a couple fouls on. Nice drive by Elder, but Will Eubanks was going to call it travel. Then it was out of control. Then it was a jump ball.
Yeah, Roosevelt actually kind of bailed Elder out by grabbing that ball. I think Elder was going to end up traveling.
Yes. So it's going to stay Everett ball under their own hoop. Kyra's going to pull the trigger on an inbound. And when you have your best player pulling the trigger, you usually want to get the ball back to her. Miller to Bumgardner. Gray has it in the corner, driving through, gets hit. And Isinger has the rebound. Gray's reaching in on Grant now. Maloney in the corner. Oh, she saw Isabel open, but Kyra Gray with her speed comes down and gets the steal.
It's Gray's
Full head
hustle
of
by Gray.
steam. Gets hit. She's on the ground.
That was great hustle by Gray on the defensive end. And then coming out on the other end, Lars, she just presents so many matchup problems, forces you to react to a move, and the next thing you know, she's gone and you're committing a foul.
So I expected her to do the Euro between the two defenders, and she didn't. She pulled up for two and got pushed from the side. So she's at the free throw line. She misses the first. 4-point lead for McBain. She's got it measured up. Second one is good. Maloney is going to inbound it. No press by Everett, which I'm thinking is just to help the players that play the whole game not get tired. Throws it out to Ridgway. Ridgway drives, goes in, gets nothing off the glass. Gray with quick hands. Maloney's going to pick up another foul.
Wow.
Is that her fourth?
That's her
There's
third,
third.
according to mine.
Yeah, the scoreboard has third. So Michaela Van Polen's going to come in right away. So Maloney was in for a minute on Gray. Now it's Van Polen's turn. Gray walking across half court. Passes across. Bumgardner. Miller has it up top. Izzy Rose trying to cut her off. Miller drives down. Bumgardner fakes the three. Got up in the air, but not much, and gets a travel called.
Now that's the, on the boys' side, the travel call that there's no boy in high school basketball across the country that thinks they committed a violation in that situation, even though they all do.
Isinger has it on the right wing. Dribbling across. Gray's on her. Gray reaches in. Grant picks it up, tries to pass it. Gray just takes it out of her hands, goes up for two, and it's good. 1-point game.
Kyra Gray with her 47th steal of the game.
Grant
you tell
steps
me if I'm
back for
exaggerating.
three. Off back iron. Gray gets the rebound. Always has her head up looking. Van Polen on her. Looks to drive. Passes it over to Miller. Miller gets in a crowd. Passes out to Gray. Gray, 5-footer. In and out. Izzy's got the rebound. Isinger down low. Big, great pass. Throws up. Oh, great opportunity for McBain. Throws it up. Not a great shot, but she had 4 people on her. Great outlet pass, though. Bumgardner looking to make something happen. Passes it over to Elder. Elder to Miller. Miller sees a driving lane. Passes it out to Gray for 3. Misses. Addie Ridgway with a good box out. Gets the rebound. Dribbles it up the court. 21-20. 5:16 to go. Addie dribbles. Passes it to Isinger. Isinger has Gray right on. No, Miller right on her. They're going to get a jump ball. Miller did a good job of closing in on that backdoor pass, forcing the turnover. So Adria comes in for Isabel Roosevelt.
That's one thing you could say, Lars. There have not been a lot of open looks for the Ramblers. The Wildcats, if a Rambler is open, it's like that. It's very highly contested.
Chelsea puts up a quick 3. Nia Bell gets the rebound. Nia passes it off to Bumgardner. Bumgardner out in the corner. Kyra Gray wide open. They're going to get a charge on Gray by Izinga. Izinga stepping in there.
Yeah, great job by Izinga to get in position, hold her ground.
That's Gray's second foul.
Sean Gray with a wry grin on his face. Does that mean he agrees or disagrees? I can't tell.
I know Sean, he'll never agree on Oh, Kyra. Wow. They're going to call a jump ball on that. That's a tough one because
yeah.
I think you know what I'm going to say. Like,
Yeah.
Chelsea had a loose ball. She puts her back to Gray. Gray's got her arm-ish.
I was a little worried about Gray's arm going the wrong way in that
for
situation.
injury, huh?
Boy, it was tough.
So Baumgartner's got it up top, passes and cuts. Nia Bell's dribbling up top, passes out to Kiera Elder. Kiera sees a wide open lane, gets it down to Miller and misses. Adria Roosevelt with the rebound. Michaela Van Polen sees a wide opening. Addie Ridgway has it on the left wing, drives in again, stops, travels is the call.
Yeah, it took that little extra step. I think she wanted to try and finish there and then decided she was going to try and pump fake and pull back and took the extra half step.
Someone's got to break this game open. 21-20, 4:14 to go in the third.
You keep using that word, Lars. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Baumgartner driving against Grant, passes up to Bell. Izinga on Bell, it goes off her foot. Turnover by Everett.
Yeah, neither team seems to want to take control of this one, do they?
Blood will come in for Izinga. Looking at Everett's offense. Half-court man. Passed over to Ridgway. Turned over. They're going to get a travel on T just because she was on the ground.
Yeah, she was on her knees when she picked it up. Yeah, she was on her knees when she got possession, and you can't stand up with the ball.
You could start dribbling, yes.
If you
And
do
then
it while
stand.
you're kneeling, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be legal, absolutely.
Tapped away. Blood has it. Blood scores for two. Let's call that a lucky play for McBain.
That's exactly how they drew it up, Lars. Come on.
Gray drives in for two. Nobody wanted to step up and stop her. Gray reaches in, no call. Grant has it, setting up the offense. Everett's man-to-man defense is awesome. Pass down to Blood. Blood passes across to Adria. Adria steps into her shot a little too hard. Everett gets the rebound. Oh, that could have been amazing if the pass was a little bit quicker.
Ramblers still lead it by one. 3:10 to go here in this third quarter.
Teed steps in for two.
Oh, what a tough shot by Maddie Teed.
Teed did a nice job of controlling her body. Everett just took the lead, 24-23. Nice crossover. Passes out to Addie Ridgway. Measures it up. In and out. Van Polen gets the rebound and puts it up for two. McBain takes the lead.
It's a great look by Grant. Great look by Grant, but a great job by Van Polen, Lars, of not bringing that ball down. Put it right back up after you get that rebound above your head.
Yeah, and Ridgway has had a really good season shooting the three. They may fall. Oh, Blood almost got the steal. Grant tries to reach in from behind. Gray's wide open on the right side. Puts up a floater, blocked by Van Polen. Two McBains are streaking down the court. Grant will dribble, brings it across the half-court line, drives in, puts up the two, misses. Grant gets her own rebound, kind of has her teammate in the way.
That was a tough situation if you're the Wildcats because Teed was the one standing there with her arms elevated. That could have gone either way. Good no call, fortunate for the Wildcats, but now you're going to get the third, I think, on Kyra Gray, or is they going to call this on Elder? Calling on Elder, that's her third.
Elder, a junior. Now Hoytinga is going to come back into the game. She had a good first half. Grant too strong on the first free throw. So Adria is going to come out. And Miller's going to come in for Nia Bell. Grant second. Measured it up. That one's good. McBain up by one. No, two. Scoreboard slow on me again. Making people think I'm doing that new math, huh?
2 minutes remaining here in the third.
Everett has it up top. Miller gives it to Elder. Elder to Teed at the free throw line, doing her thing, going to work. Double team, knocked away. Grant tries to get the steal. Were they calling it? Wow, they said it off Everett. That was a bang-bang play, if you will.
Yeah, well, the official, Will, right in front of that. Right, or not Will, sorry, that's the other gentleman.
That's Matt Corliss there.
Will and Matt, not going to lie, look like they could be brothers. A little bit. No? Am I wrong? One's just got a little thicker beard than the other one.
Van Polen gets the handoff from Grant over to Roosevelt. Hoydiga has it. Grant, had a look. Pass down, knocked away. Teed with those hands gets the steal. Teed bringing it up. No one's picking her up. She thinks of three. She goes for three. She gets the three.
Maddie Teed says, I'm sorry, did you want me to shoot this? Very well.
Everett with a 1-point lead now. Van Polen, Roosevelt. Hoydiga has it. Grant with a look. Doesn't want to pull the trigger. Addie will. Addie Ridgeway in and out. Oh, they're going to call a foul on the ground. Isabel Roosevelt got the rebound. Had a look at the shot, but they called the foul before the shot.
It's a really good look for Ridgeway that just didn't fall. Miller's first. Fourth on the Wildcats with 1:04 to go here in the third.
Ridgeway should look at the bank again. Nice post up by Hoydiga, a little low on that. And Teed and Roosevelt battling on the ground. Look at those girls competing for a conference championship. Van Polen will pull the trigger for McBain. McBain looking for an inbound, stolen by Gray. Gray's got a full head of steam. Tries to make contact, gets contact, and misses. That's a tough one. That's a good offensive play right there. Are you going, because it's offensive initiated?
Not at all. Not at all. That's Ridgeway has to realize that she can't stop her there, and she's not going to impact anything, and she has to hold back. If you can't get in front of the offensive player in that situation, you have to recognize how smart a player Gray is and just stay out of her way. And actually, by pulling the chair on her, you might cause her to miss the layup anyway.
So Ferdine will come in for Ridgeway. Gray.
It's the second on Ridgeway, by the way.
Puts it up, makes the second. 28-26 is what the score, 29-26 is what the scoreboard has. Ferdine has it right corner, looking for some cutters. Drives.
5 seconds left here in the
passes down to Isabel. Great pass, too strong. They're going to get Gray with her third foul on the rebound.
Yeah. Might have been the best miss Izzy Roosevelt's ever had there. Inadvertent. That should be 2 shots. That's the 5th. Yep. Roosevelt will go to the line for a couple, and Gray has picked up her third with 40 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Nice pass by Ferdine to get Isabel that look. Isabel puts up the first. It hits 3 of the 4 areas of the rim and rims out. So the home rim advantage is working for Everett. Second one, money. 27-29. 37 seconds to go in the third. Gray looking to drive. Elder shoots a 3, misses. 29 seconds to go. Van Polen got the rebound. McBain looking to set something up. Passes it over to Ferdine. Ferdine looking to...
Welcome to McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, home of the Ramblers and the Gold Star rated Little Wheels preschool program, where the youngest members start strong, surrounded by the care and support they need to thrive. And McBain, we're technology leaders, providing each student with one-to-one Apple devices to power their learning journey. And it's not just about academics. The award-winning band and choir programs let students explore their talents and share their voice. McBain students are taught to feel the wheel. They're welcoming, honest, engaged, empathetic, and leaders who are prepared for their future. McBain Rural Agricultural agricultural schools where students learn locally and compete globally. High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
Back to you guys.
So we're back in the Everett gym. We think we're experiencing some technical difficulty.
Some minor technical difficulty. This is the problem when you are your own
Producer, director.
Well, he's our Connor's our producer back in the studio, but we've got a bit of a. It says we're using the browser setting. I think we sound fine. Connor would have to tell me if not. I think we're getting it out of the microphones and not out of the laptop microphone. 29-27, the Wildcats with the lead through 3 quarters of play. We took a little bit of an early break, a flurry of activity at the end of that third. Ramblers had some chances and could not close the gap further. So the Wildcats with the ball as we start the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead as that ball is knocked out of bounds by the Ramblers.
Refs look at each other to determine who made the call. So the ref from way behind made the call. Everett will inbound under their own basket. Gets it to Teed. Teed had just made a 3. Hoydinga guarding. Teed dribbling down low. Big shot by Miller. Bumgardner misses. Van Polen gets the rebound. Van Polen dribbling up to the 3-point line. Kaya Gray comes up on her. Looking to set something up. Grant has it now. Good defense by Everett. Making McBain look out of sorts. Van Polen picks it up. Looking for someone to come up. Izzy goes to work. Izzy steps through. Izzy gets a travel call as she was falling to the ground. Everett will have the ball with a 2-point lead, 7:21 to go in the game. Kyra Gray will bring up the ball, walking across. Miller has it on the wing, passes it over to Elder. Kyra has it in the corner. Miller puts up a 3, buries the 3.
Emily Miller had all day to think about that shot and nothing but net. Biggest lead of the game for the Wildcats at 5 for either team.
Grant has it on the right wing. Kai Honor passes it over. Hoydinga trying to dribble in, gets knocked away. Teague gets the steal. Kaya looking to take Van Polen off. Elder has it now right wing. Looking to take Ferdine. Knocked away. Teed looking to go to work. Passes it over to Elder. Kyra Gray with an open 3 look. That one's good. Probably a timeout by McBain, and it is.
Yeah, Tim O'Malley was getting ready, Lars, to send 5 over the boards, a complete line shift. But that 3 ball meant that he couldn't wait any longer. Good ball rotation by the Wildcats. Back-to-back wide open triples has given them an 8-point lead, biggest of the game. I think this is a full timeout, but we'll keep it here. 35-27 Wildcats with 6:21 to go in the fourth. And you talked a little bit, Lars, earlier. One of these 2 teams needed to break this game open. Right now, though, it's Everett.
Everett got the 2 3-point shots there. Got an 8-point lead, so that's got to feel huge in a game like this.
Oh, and again, it might as well be 30.
Now, McBain had some looks late in that last quarter. 3 of them were halfway down the net and popped out. So snow coming here for Everett. Everett trying to stay in the lead in the Highland Conference with Manton with 2 losses. Whoever loses this game will have 3 losses with Roscommon. And things will sort themselves out in the next couple weeks for the conference championship.
Did the girls start before or after the boys this season?
They started after.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Nia Bell will put a one-man press on Addie Ridgway. Chelsea gives it over to Maloney. Grant not in the game right now. Isinga has it right wing. Adria Roosevelt from the free throw line misses, and Gray gets the rebound. So Grant getting a little rest, and nobody's picking up Gray. Gray makes it and one. Ridgway had to come over on the help side and basically threw her body into her, not really going for the ball, and Gray was able to put up a controlled shot from that.
It's interesting, Lars, because McBain brought in, I think, 5 new players. It was going to be 5. It might be 4, because I think Ridgway was on the floor before, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe 5 completely new bodies.
11-point lead for Everett after that make. Full court pressure coming. Ridgway dribbling by the press, but throws it down there. Nice pass. Adria Roosevelt. Maloney up to Chelsea. Chelsea puts up the 3 and makes the 3. Gray has it, coming back. 8-point game. 5:41 to go in the fourth. Maloney on Gray. Nia Bell takes it down, misses, and goes over the back. Foul on Bell. Everett will have their full court press going. 8-point game. 3-quarter court press. Let the ball in and then trap it. Trying to use some time. Trying to make McBain have some turnovers. Even if you don't get the steal, you just get the other team out of their normal. Blood has it up top.
Well, Ridgway wide open on the left side. Blood just didn't see her.
Isinga gets blocked by Gray, fights for it. Nia Bell comes up with it. Nice block by Gray. Gray probably the tallest on their team, but plays point guard. Teed walking up to the three-point line. She goes to work, gets the advantage, and 2. Grant will come back in with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 10-point lead. Addie Ridgway to Isinga, doing the weave up top. Fakes to Blood. Gives it to Blood now. Nobody wants to drive. Blood going in at the free throw line. Passes it out to Chelsea. Chelsea fakes the 3. Blood puts it up. She gets hit in the arm by Gray. That's Gray's 4th.
It is.
But 4:36 to go. She should be fine. I wouldn't take her out if I was Coach Sean Gray.
No. That's where you trust your best player.
3 shots coming for Blood.
And these next minute and a half, 2 minutes for the Ramblers are really, really big, Lars. They can't trim this down. Everett's going to be able to just dribble away at the end of the game.
Off back iron for Blood's first one. She gets 2 more shots. Subs will come in after this shot. Blood's second. Off back iron. I think I'd back up a half a step. Grant comes in for Roosevelt. That's a pretty small team. Well, Grant has height, but there's 4.5 guards out there. Maloney gets the rebound. Pass it over to, wow, she gets a travel call. Arms all over her.
Got tied up a little bit with Miller, but definitely took a step.
Miller has it. Maloney guarding. Teed's bringing it up. Kyra is just hiding in the corner. Teed doing her shake and bake against Grant. Miller has it up top. Miller driving through. Passes out to Elder. Actually, Gray's out of the game. And as long as you have a 10-point lead, why not? 3-point shot. Air ball. McBain ball. 4:08 to go in the fourth. 10-point lead. Van Polen's going to check in. Oops, the refs didn't let her in. Grant has it, guarded. Goes to the free throw line. Does her shake and bake for 2.
First field goal of the game for Peyton Grant.
I kind of feel like Grant could do that anytime she wanted to. Miller, Baumgartner driving in. Gets Elder in the corner. 3-point shot misses. Isinga has it. Passes to Grant. 3:44 to go. 8-point game. McBain's got to chip away at this. There's no 8-point shot, so let's see what they come up with. Blood goes under the hoop. Passes to Maloney, who had good post-up position on Miller, and gets 2. Nice assist by Blood. At first I was wondering, just shoot it.
Gray's getting ready to check back in for Everett, and we're going to get a full timeout for the Wildcats in order to get Kyra Gray with those 4 fouls back in the game. 3:23 left to go in this one. Wildcats lead it by 6. The Ramblers with a little bit of a run to narrow it down. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this.
L&J Meat Market is just about the closest you can get to farm-to-table dining. Fill your freezer and fire up the grill with the exceptional taste and quality that only locally sourced meat can provide. Meat from L&J is carefully processed and prepared to be the freshest and most flavorful you'll taste. And L&J is committed to supporting local farmers. Buy by the pound or fill your freezer with money-saving beef, chicken, or sampler bundles and eat for months on end. L&J Meat Market is a proud supporter of McBain Ramblers Sports, Maury Road, just south of Lake City.
And welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars, Mr. McBain, Fredine, Connor Hammer, our producer and engineer. Turn the dials for us back in the studio. I'm turning the dials for us here, and we've had a couple of hiccups. But that's because, well, I'm no expert. That's why. You know who are experts? This officiating crew. This girls' varsity Highland Conference basketball contest here on 107.9 CDY. A great one right now. The Everett Wildcats with a 40-34 lead over the Ramblers. 3:23 to go. Back to you, Lars.
Everett will inbound on the sideline after calling a timeout to get Kyra Gray back in the game. She has the ball up top, guarded by Van Polen, looking to drive. Oh!
Yep. It's going to be an offensive charge, and that's her 5th foul.
So I'm looking at Matt. He didn't call it, and I'm like, oh, you're not making a call. Will had it all the way.
Yeah, I believe Tim Feckety calls that the trail official had the call.
So
Kyra Gray with 3:16 to go will sit down.
So Everett is not a one-man show.
Nope.
So let's see what they come up with. Grant in the corner, passes it over to Addie Ridgway. Fakes the drive, looks to go down. They're going to get a carry on Ridgway. Miller did a nice job of stepping over to take her drive away. But McBain can't afford any turnovers, down by 6.
Well, Lars, this is where the ball handling and the court vision of Peyton Grant is
Knocked
so
away
important.
and stolen by Van Polen. Thrown over to Addie. Addie's going to take it. Drive, misses. Teed with another rebound. She's got to be over 10.
Teed will be your primary ball handler, I think, right now, along with Elder right now for the Wildcats.
Elder takes it. Ayla Fredine knocks it away. Ayla's got a wide open layup. And almost rolled out. Goes in. 4-point game. 36-40. 2:37 to go. Elder has it wide open. Nia Bell. Fredine, last one to get down there. She doesn't allow the shot or the basket to go, but she does foul.
Yeah, that's a good foul by Fredine, quite frankly. Take away the freebie. You've got 5 to give. That's your first. Just the second on the Ramblers in the quarters, so, but it will send Nia Bell to the line for a couple. And the Ramblers, after trailing by 10, have trimmed this to 4.
Nia's first one in and out. There have been so many in and outs. Are these brand new rims? Are they not soft? Like,
I don't know. I'm not a shooter, Lars. I have no idea. Is that not normal?
Nia gets her second shot. 2:30 to go in the fourth. 4-point game. That one is in and out also. And
big rebound by Miller for the Wildcats.
Teed fakes it, gives it to Miller. They shoot a 3, and they make a 3 by Baumgartner. Bombing away from the outside. Huge shot. Grant's going to step up and pass to Fredine. Fredine for 3. In and out, and Nia Bell gets the rebound, gives it to Elder. Elder actually did a nice job of not forcing it. McBain's going to have to pressure a little bit more, try to get some 5 counts. They get a travel on Everett. McBain ball. Timeout McBain.
This is a 30-second variety. We'll keep it right here. This is the toughest time in a game, Lars. I feel like playing defense, you don't really want to foul. You're just trying to create turnovers. But the officials, I almost feel like in the back of their heads, they have this thought process that you're going to want to foul eventually. And so that's what they start thinking. And sometimes those little ticky-tack things start to get called that maybe weren't called earlier. It's tough.
Yeah.
Again, it's the toughest job in the universe, and I'm not sure how these guys handle it, but that was really good defense by the Ramblers there to commit that first turnover. But that Bumgarner 3 could be the biggest bucket of this game.
Yeah, and she didn't hesitate at all on it. She knew that was going up. So McBain comes out, minute 58 to go. Strategy, obviously try to score. Do you go for pressure put on? Naya's reaching in. They're going to get a foul. Now, one thing with Everett, if you have a 7-point lead like that, you don't want the clock stopped.
Well, you don't want to be picking up fouls because your next one now will send the Ramblers to the line. That's the 4th on the Wildcats, 3rd on Bell.
If I'm McBain, just try to get fouled. Addie Ridgway driving in, passes it back up to Grant. Great look for a 3. In and out for Dean. Almost had it. Bell takes it away. Nia Bell gets a foul on Grant.
Yeah,
That's
Grant.
only the 2nd, so they're going to inbound it. So this is where McBain's got to try to get the steal. 7-point game.
3rd foul on the Ramblers in this quarter. Just the 1st on Peyton Grant.
Timeout ever.
Timeout.
Close to a 5-second call.
He'll use his final 30. We'll keep it right here. Don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, we'll have the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. And then we'll have another game. Why not? As the boys will take the floor in another key Highland Conference contest. Lars, I think, is going to stick around and do that game with me.
Yes, I am.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a big one. You know, Everett has Jacoby White coming back from kind of a medical red shirt in high school. You heard the story of the accident last year, and he played football last year at his first senior year, and then appealed, if you will, to the MHSAA, letting them know that he was in the accident along with 3 other Everett players, and so they are back, and he is a spark plug for that team. So here comes the inbound by Everett. They get it into Teed. Teed has it at the 3-point line. Oh my gosh, 2nd 3 put up, missed. Isinger has the rebound. Grant has it, minute 30 to go, 7-point game.
Total
Addie
heat check by
Ridgway
Bumgarner.
gonna get a travel.
Yeah. That was a total heat check by Bumgarner, and I'm sure that Sean Gray doesn't necessarily want that. I mean, you want to take your open looks, but I'm not sure that was an open look. The Wildcats get away with it on the turnover by the Ramblers.
Teed has the ball, Grant guarding. Kind of posting her up at half court. Passes it over, double dribble, no call. Miller has it up top. 5-second call is on. Picks it up, new call starts. Another timeout. There's still 1 timeout left after this one is used for Everett.
Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. We'll keep it here, even though this is a full timeout. We don't want to risk not being back in time. It will give me a chance, though, to let you know that this girls varsity Highland Conference basketball action is brought to you in part by Northern Truck Service, McBain Public Schools, Welch Building LLC, L&J Meat Market, and the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center. Our sincere thanks to all of our broadcast partners for allowing us to bring these games to you. Looking way ahead, our next broadcast will be next Tuesday, already mentioned by Lars, where we will feature the youngest and perhaps first female play-by-play basketball voice in Northern Michigan. We're not positive of that, but that's Rich Spicer's belief. As Izzy Roosevelt, whose name you've heard called out here during this game, varsity basketball player for the Ramblers, will be on the mic with me as the Cadillac Vikings host the McBain Ramblers boys in a big non-conference tilt. Good test for both of these schools as they go into the playoffs.
I'm not sure, but I think there's a unified sports game between Cadillac and McBain's unified players. It's a co-ed. It's some of the special ed kids get together.
Oh, during the
between games.
between
maybe.
games? I think you're right.
Everett gets the ball in, 1:09 to go. Nia Bell's looking to run clock, and Shannon gets the foul. So
Yeah, Maloney kind of following her closely, picks up the foul. I got to say that carefully.
So I'm sure Sean Gray said to the girls, do not shoot it unless it's a wide open layup. Just keep running clock.
4th on Maloney, 4th on the Ramblers.
It's not a free throw yet, so the inbounds teed out at the, stolen by Grant. Full head of steam. Miller's there. Contact's made. No call. Gets the rebound. Puts it back in. It's a 5-point game. Everett looking to inbound. Tough defense by McBain. T grabs it away from Grant. She's on the ground. Intentional foul on McBain. I think it's on Maloney. That'd be her 5th, and Everett will get the ball back. That is such a hard call.
It is an intentional foul because that's what they are. But did she put 2 hands on her and shove her to the ground? Is that what they're saying?
It's not on Maloney. So that's the tough part. In this type of game, you're trying to foul, so you have to make an attempt at the ball.
Absolutely.
The ref said no attempt was made, plus Teed fell to the floor. Teed shooting 2. And they'll get the ball back. So
yeah, that's big. 44 seconds to go.
Misses a second. Everett will get the ball back. Jane Cucci will come into the game for the first time. Jane Cucci, a freshman. Ferdin's in, Blood's in. McBain has 6 on the court. I'm surprised they didn't give it at half court, but that's where the ball was on the flagrant foul. So Everett looking to inbound, gets it to Elder. Kiera Elder trying to get across. Ferdin doubles. Teed has it. They're going to get a foul on Ferdin. That's going to put Teed to the line. 44-38 with 39 seconds to go. 6-point lead. McBain can come in. I guess they're just used to the flagrant fouls that nobody wants to get under the basket for the free throws.
Well, they've got a 6-point lead with 39 seconds left. They're more concerned with the easy buckets on the other end than anything else.
Teed takes her time on the first one, puts it up, off, back, iron, and goes. The friendly rule. What'd you call it? The hometown?
Yeah, that's a home rim right there.
Teed second one, off back iron. Blood gets the rebound. 37 seconds to go. Grant, full head of steam. Passes to Jane Cucci. Jane dribbles by, picks it up. Blood puts up a 3. Too hard. And Miller gets the rebound. Passes over to Teed. Ferdin fouls. Saves 25 seconds on the clock.
Now see, again, this is why I don't officiate, but Ferdin came over and basically just put hands on her upper arms, both hands on her upper arms, didn't go for the ball at all because she wanted to commit the foul right away, which everybody knows you do. So it's a weird, it's an odd situation to me. I don't know how you officiate it. What's the difference between an intentional foul and a foul?
Yeah, I always tell my middle school kids, like, go for the jump ball first. Go for the steal, go for the jump, then commit the foul.
If you're going to commit the foul on the arm, right?
Second one's good.
Teed with some big free throws here in the fourth.
Passes it over to Van Polen. Van Polen up to Cucci. Cucci gets a jump ball at the three-point line. The ball got knocked away, and then she dove on the ground for it. It's going to stay McBain ball. They're going to have it on the side. 13 seconds to go. Down by 9. Everett in control. Grant has it. Passes over to Ferdin. Through Ferdin's hand. She saves it. Down to Blood. Blood a long 2. Misses. Off Kiera. And it's out. McBain, 4.3 seconds to go. They're just throwing up stuff now. McBain inbound and passes to Grant in the corner. A little too hard. Teed with her 20th rebound, probably. Everett takes a 9-point win, staying on top of the conference with Matt with only 2 losses. McBain drops to 3 losses, down with Roscommon.
47-38, your final. The Everett Wildcats with the victory here on their home court. We'll take a break, collect our stats and our thoughts. The Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show is coming your way. Lots more basketball action ahead as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
With over 20 years of WIC construction under his belt, Welch Buildings owner and president Nick Welch has built a company based on the values that helped him earn multiple awards from WIC and a growing list of happy customers. From tool sheds to dairy barns, Welch Buildings has an experienced crew team with a diverse set of subcontractors to expertly handle heating, plumbing, and concrete. See for yourself at welchbuildings.com and call for a quote. 740-403-5354. Welch Buildings of Luther.
McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is now featuring new healthcare services, including walk-in testing, online appointments for COVID and flu testing, and vaccines. McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is your first and one-stop for your family's health. Go to McBainFamilyPharmacy.com to set up your appointment today and see the difference local makes. Proud local supporter of the McBain Ramblers.
McLean Transmissions in Lake City services vehicles, foreign and domestic, specializing in transmissions, transfer cases, differentials, high-performance driveline, 4x4s, clutches, and computer diagnostics. For anything transmission and quality used cars, it's McLean Transmissions on LaChance Road between Cadillac and Lake City. Call 231-779-1394. That's 231-779-1394.
Truck Brokers of Cadillac has a new name and location. Allen's Auto and RV can now be found at the former Galvanics on M55 west of Cadillac. Here's what hasn't changed. A lot full of rust-free trucks, cars, and SUVs brought right here to the Cadillac area from southern and western climates that aren't harsh on vehicle bodies. The friendly service you've come to expect hasn't changed either. You'll also find a great selection of budget-friendly choices, plus a salvage yard offering used parts to the public, RV service, and outdoor storage. Allen's Auto and RV, M55 west of Cadillac.
And welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon and Lars, Mr. McBain Ferdine with you. Connor Hammer, our producer and engineer, turned the dials for us back in the studio. Sorry, I can't forget his nickname, Connor MC Hammer, as Hawkeye has labeled him.
That's cute.
He's at the board despite being a little under the weather, so we appreciate his perseverance. 47-38, your final, as the Everett Wildcat girls pick up a huge Highland Conference victory over the visiting McBain Ramblers here on 107.9 CDY. The first of our varsity basketball doubleheader. The boys will be coming up, both teams out on the floor and warming up. But this is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. And, well, Lars, the Wildcats may not be a one-man show, but they were largely a two-man show tonight. Give a lot of credit to the entire Wildcat team for their defense, but this was the Kyra Gray and Maddie Teed show tonight, as those two combined for 33 of their 47 points, including Teed going a huge 4 of 6 down the stretch from the charity stripe after Kyra Gray had fouled out of the game with around 3.5 minutes to go, and shepherded the rest of the team to the victory at the end of it. So
yeah, Teed was amazing. Steals, rebounds, points. I love it when she walked up to the three-point line. She didn't rush it. She's just like, you're not going to guard me? Well, here you go. Yep. And had all the time in the world, hit a three. That was a huge three at that point in the game. But Everett really broke the game up in the fourth quarter, scoring 18 points in that quarter to just 11 for McBain, and that's where the difference was. And some of it, like you said, is a heat check on Baumgartner. She knew she was shooting that three as soon as she got it. It went in, and like you said, she shot another one later just for the heat check. But that was a huge three. I mean, the game was, what, 4-point game at that time?
Well, that was the, I mean, to me, that was the difference, because McBain came down and scored, but they trailed by 5. Without that three, they trailed by 2. And the pressure's a little bit different for the Wildcats at that point. But that had taken a 4-point game and turned it to 7. And the Ramblers then, needed a couple more buckets just to close it to where they did. And at that point, it changes things when you've got a 5-point lead versus a 2-point lead.
I'll give Sean Gray credit too as the coach. He called the timeout there with about 3 minutes to go. The girls were, they were shooting it as soon as they could with a 10, 11-point lead. And he basically, after a few turnovers, McBain got a couple points. girls, run the clock, force them to foul. That was probably the key to the game, too, of just knowing, like basketball IQ, forcing McBain to put you at the free throw line.
It was the Baumgartner 3, I think, that caused that second timeout. and listen, I've met those guys on Sunday nights at our run. They hit 1 3, and then they'll take 4 more in a row because all of a sudden they're just, quote-unquote, feeling it. They probably have no business doing it. I know I'm one of those guys. I got no business taking another one after that point. But the only question I had about the Baumgartner 3 was that it was fairly contested and quick. It wasn't a wide open look, so that was the only question I had about it. But you're absolutely right. Gray calls the timeout. Tells the kids, listen, they've got to follow you. We've got the lead. Don't give it back to them by taking bad shots.
There is that whole adage of when do you take the air out of the ball? When do you run more clock? All of a sudden a couple steals happen, and now it's a game again. So are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? Sometimes that changes your aggressiveness, and it's backfired on some teams.
Right.
Exciting game either way. Both teams gave everything they had. Disappointing for McBain, but Everett with their senior Kyra Gray, and do you know Teed's only a junior? So we're going to be seeing her next year too.
Yeah, she was very impressive tonight as a secondary ball handler. Kira Elder also didn't score in this game, but was also very effective as a secondary ball handler. And we got to give the Wildcats credit. Their defense early on, especially against the much bigger Ramblers, in the post, double teaming, helping off the ball was big, and it didn't allow the Ramblers to get going underneath, which is what they like to do. And then they held Peyton Grant to just 6 points in this game, all in the second half. She had 2 field goals, both coming in the fourth quarter, but that was after the Ramblers had fallen behind, unfortunately, in that fourth quarter. Speaking of, let's run down the scoring for you from this one. As I mentioned, Kyra Gray of the Wildcats finishes with a game-high 22 points. She knocks down 1 from long range in that fourth quarter. She also goes 2, 4, 6, 7 of 9 from the charity stripe to lead all scorers for the Wildcats, and she fouled out with about 3:20 to go in the game. So did all that damage in less than a full game.
Yeah, she could have added some more free throws, I'm sure, at the end of the game if she was in.
No question. Maddie Teed, though, finishes with 12 on the night, including 4 of 6 from the charity stripe in that fourth quarter, and that big triple in the third quarter to help her running mate Gray along. They got 6 out of Josie Baumgartner. Those were Jocelyn Baumgartner. 2 triples, long range for Baumgartner. Emily Miller knocked down a 3 and a couple of free throws to finish with 5 points, and then Nia Bell, 1 of 4 from the line to finish with just the 1 point. That rounds out the scoring. Just 5 players getting into the books for the Wildcats, but when you've got what Gray and Teeth did tonight, that's all you need. They go 14 of 23 from the charity stripe on the night. Meanwhile, McBain, they got 8 players in the books, but unfortunately nobody had the kind of night that Gray or Teed did. They were led by Chelsea Eisinga, who finishes with 10 points, including a pair of Welch's Building LLC triples. They got 7 out of Izzy Roosevelt down low, 6 from Peyton Grant, as we mentioned earlier, 4 apiece from Van Polen and Michaela Blood, and a 3 from Addie Ridgway. I keep wanting to say Adri. Addie Ridgway got a triple in the second quarter. She finishes with 3 points, and then a bucket apiece for Ayla Ferdine and Shannon Maloney to round out the scoring for the Ramblers, who go 7 of 15 from the charity stripe. And as Lars already mentioned, it's the 3rd loss in conference play for the Ramblers, drops them into a tie with the Roscommon Bucks in the loss column behind the Rangers and the Wildcats, and makes the road a little tougher going forward. So they get the season split with Everett, season split with Manton, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Roscommon's coming up next week.
Yep.
At Roscommon.
Is there a 4th team in the mix that I'm not thinking of?
Everett, Manton, McBain, and Roscommon. And then probably Pine River would be the next one down there.
Okay. But there's your 4th team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got 2 with 2 losses, 2 with 3 losses. The Ramblers aren't out of it, but they've lost a little bit of control of their destiny with the split with Manton and Everett, who are both ahead of them. So they got no more games left with the two conference leaders, so they got to hope for some help.
Yeah, and NMC doesn't have a team, so that takes a chance to lose,
out.
if you will.
Right.
They're building their JV program with Everett's former coach. Carrie Kunkel was the coach last year here. She retired, and I think there's a rule with the public school system that you have to sit out for 6 months or something.
Oh, okay.
You can't even come back. You can't even volunteer. You just got to be away. And so she went to a private school and loving it.
Even though it's an MHSAA school?
Yeah, it's not part of the public school system, retirement, if you will. So, so that's where she's at, doing a great job building the program there. But every McBain team, or every conference team, they'll play the JV NMC kids, but they'll have to find another game to fill the varsity roster out.
Right. That makes sense. As I mentioned, this is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. It's a little bit late, but I'll remind you that you're listening to WCDY, McBain, Cadillac, Lake City. Jay Simon, Lars Ferdine with you. We got a couple things to take care of before we can put the girls' game in the books. And I know you did the play-by-play, and normally this would be my job, but I'm still going to make you do it. Yeah.
So I have the Everett one. I think you know who that
we don't normally do the other team unless it's NMC. That would be easy. The tougher one, and we can talk about it a little bit here. We can talk about it talk it out on the air. You got any thoughts on play of the game?
You want it for McBain, huh?
Yeah.
Because Maddie Teed would have got it forever. She played her heart out. Kyra Gray, you kind of expect it, which really isn't fair for Kyra.
No.
Because you're like, you're supposed to be awesome. You are the stud. But Maddie Teed really was the difference maker in this game. Well, going by point-wise, Chelsea with those 2 threes, getting 10 points, would be a top nominee. Peyton Grant controlled the dribbling. Rebounding-wise, I wasn't able to keep some stats on that. But Everett pretty much neutralized our big girls down low. We didn't get many looks. So I'm going to go Chelsea Eisinga, player of the game on mine. Do you have any thoughts? Any other nominees?
I cannot disagree with that. I actually like that quite a bit. Eisinga knocked down 2 triples. She started off gangbusters for the Ramblers, led them with 7 in that opening half as they took the 1-point lead into halftime. And I think that's an absolute fantastic choice, even though we're going out of order for your Hawkeye Player of the Game, brought to you by Boss Design Company. That does leave us, though, with the Napa Auto and Truck Parts, Cadillac, Big Rapids, and Lake City play of the game. And I know this is why.
Let's talk about the nominees here, right?
This is why I'm not a good color analyst, because I don't pay attention to that stuff. I'm so used to doing play-by-play, I don't even think about that stuff. But
well, let me get a shout out to you. You're over here. You got your computer. You got the soundboard. You're keeping stats. You're talking during the dead times. It's amazing watching you. I wish I could. I wish everybody could see it, because it's a lot to put these things on the air. Obviously, Connor, NC Hammer doing the thing at the studio, but with you guys and the sponsors, it's really a cool system for people to stay home and listen to the stuff, or if they can't make it, or if they're...
That's very kind, but nobody wants to see the sausage being made, so they just want to believe that it just comes out and we don't have any trouble with it. So as I think of the plays of the game and the potentiality for plays of the game, you know what? I've got one in mind, but go ahead.
There were some charges.
I was just going to say
that were taken.
The offensive foul.
I think Chelsea took
drawn
one.
by Eisinga? Was it Eisinga that drew the 5th foul on Kyra Gray?
Yeah. And she had a charge earlier in the game too.
So do we give her the double-double?
Well, let's talk some nominees yet.
Okay.
Remember Peyton Grant, 4th quarter, doing a drive?
Yep.
That was a nice drive.
That was a great one. Great drive, yep.
I'm trying to think if there was any dimes, someone setting someone up for something.
There were a lot of those, they just didn't get finished.
No, Michaela Blood had a nice one across the lane to, I think, Adria Roosevelt for Adria's 2 points there. Even though she's not in the scoreboard, so it must have been someone else. Maybe I missed it. But no, maybe the defensive effort was more than the offensive effort. Obviously, a few kids hit some threes, but kind of too little too late by the time they started falling.
Yep.
First half, those threes were big to give McBain the lead going into halftime.
They were. Well, and again, it goes back to Chelsea Eisinger, because I think it was Eisinger that took the seal off the rim, hitting the first three for the Ramblers, wasn't it?
The bank, Ridgeway
it was
had
Ridgeway's
the bank first,
right.
and then and then Eisinger's, she hit the rim once. It goes straight up in the air and just falls through. Like the net doesn't even move. It just fell through. You're like, we're at a weird angle up here, and you're like, did that even go?
Did that go in?
So all in all, it was an exciting game. A lot of great plays, a lot of defensive effort. Sometimes it's ugly, but a win ugly is still a win, right?
It sure is. Hawkeye's listening to us right now going, dude, I got like 5 possibilities for play of the game. What is wrong with you guys? Well, I'm just going to call it. The Eisinger draw, charge draw for the 5th foul on Kyra Gray that got the Ramblers going. They cut it to 4 after that. And I feel like that was a big part of how they got the momentum going there in the 4th quarter. We're just going to give Chelsea Eisinger the double-double.
Dipping, huh?
She is the Hawkeye Player of the Game presented by Boz Design Company, and her offensive foul draw on Kyra Gray is your Napa Auto and Truck Parts, Cadillac, Big Rapids, and Lake City Play of the Game. So congratulations to Chelsea on those two. 47-38, your final in the girls' game. The boys' game is going to be coming your way shortly as we will flip back to the Pluger Mechanical pregame show, but we'll take a quick break and come back with some thoughts and your Northern Truck Service starting lineups for the boys' game right after this.
Welcome to McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, home of the Ramblers and the Gold Star rated Little Wheels preschool program, where the youngest members start strong, surrounded by the care and support they need to thrive. And McBain, we're technology leaders, providing each student with one-to-one Apple devices to power their learning journey. And it's not just about academics. The award-winning band and choir programs let students explore their talents and share their voice. McBain students are taught to feel the wheel. They're welcoming, honest, engaged, empathetic, and leaders who are prepared for their future. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, where students learn locally and compete globally. L&J Meat Market is just about the closest you can get to farm-to-table dining. Fill your freezer and fire up the grill with the exceptional taste and quality that only locally sourced meat can provide. Meat from L&J is carefully processed and prepared to be the freshest and most flavorful you'll taste. And L&J is committed to supporting local farmers. Buy by the pound or fill your freezer with money-saving beef, chicken, or sampler bundles. And eat for months on end. L&J Meat Market is a proud supporter of McBain Ramblers Sports. Maury Road, just south of Lake City.
And good Friday evening, everybody. Again, and welcome again to the gymnasium here at Everett High School for tonight's presentation of boys varsity Highland Conference basketball action here on 107.9 CDY. As I mentioned earlier, my longtime broadcast partner, good friend, and all-around Renaissance man, Gary Hawkeye Vanna, spending some quality time with his lovely wife and his granddaughter. Well-deserved, and so I am joined by Lars, Mr. McBain Ferdine, who just got done doing the play-by-play for the girls contest as the Everett Wildcats girls defeated the McBain Ramblers 47-38 in our opener. And now the boys take center stage in another game, Lars, that is really, really important from a Highland Conference standpoint, as the Ramblers, with just one loss in league play, that coming on the road at Beale City, have a one-game lead in the loss column over the Everett Wildcats, the Pine River Bucks, and the Beale City Aggies at this point, if I'm not mistaken. All three of those schools with 2 losses in the loss column. The Pine River Bucks have to make up a game or two in order to catch up to everybody else. They're at least one game behind, I think. That's what, they're at 11, everybody else is at 12, but in any case, I think I even put that in the show notes for you at the start there, what everybody's got left. The key is the Ramblers control their destiny. They just need to win out, and nobody can catch them because they've got that one-game lead. Everybody else is hoping they trip up at some point and they can take care of business themselves. This is a Wildcat team that the Ramblers beat earlier in the year by 17 at McBain, but this is a much different atmosphere for the Wildcats here at home.
Yeah, snow coming night tonight. It is a packed gym, and I would think most boys' games are crowded, but you add that. Sometimes that can be bulletin board material for the visiting team. Oh, you scheduled homecoming or snow coming on the same night that we're playing. Sometimes it could be a distraction for the home team because there's probably a dance this weekend and they're worried about who they're going to, do some line dancing with or who their date is. So sometimes you could take advantage of this as a visiting team, but sometimes the crowd's so big that it's just a great playoff atmosphere. And with these teams separated by just one loss in the conference record, this is a huge game. If Everett can take this, they can get the tie for the lead in the conference. You have in your show notes that McBain has NMC at home for a conference game, Roscommon and Pine River on the road, and then Everett has Pine River and NMC and Houghton Lake left. Now, Pine River was ranked early in the year. Everett actually beat Pine River. I don't know if it was a home game or an away game, but everybody expected Pine River to win that game, and Everett came in and won it. So Everett is no slouch, especially only 2 losses in the conference of a tough Highland Conference.
Yeah, I think that was here at home because the Pine River Bucks will take on Everett at home in their second matchup. So that was here on this floor. But it's been the Wildcats, the Ramblers have the Wildcats to thank for the fact that they do have the lead outright. They were looking to just beat the Aggies and at least tie them at the top of the standings, but the upset by the Wildcats over the Aggies gave them that extra little bit of help, and now they stand alone at the top. Not sure if we're getting the national anthem a second time. Kind of looks like we are. So, while that occurs, we will take a little bit of a break. You're listening to the Pluger Mechanical pregame show here at 107.9 CDY, coming to you live from the Burkholder Family Funeral Home broadcast booth. While we get the national anthem again for the boys' game, we will take a break. The Northern Truck Service starting lineups will be coming your way right after this.
With over 20 years of Wick construction under his belt, Welch Buildings owner and president Nick Welch has built a company based on the values that helped him earn multiple awards from Wick and a growing list of happy customers. From tool sheds to dairy barns, Welch Buildings has an experienced crew team with a diverse set of subcontractors to expertly handle heating, plumbing, and concrete. See for yourself at welchbuildings.com and call for a quote. 740-403-5354. Welch Buildings of Luther. High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is now featuring new healthcare services, including walk-in testing, online appointments for COVID and flu testing, and vaccines. McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is your first and one-stop for your family's health. Go to McBainFamilyPharmacy.com to set up your appointment today and see the difference local makes. Proud local supporter of the McBain Ramblers.
And welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Ferdine. Connor Hammer turning the dials for us back in the studio. We just got the national anthem, Lars. And it was an Everett Wildcat senior young lady singing the national anthem. I think the most impressive part about that was the octave change toward the end.
The key change in the middle. You know, Jay, with all your drama and plays that you've done, have you thought about doing the national anthem for games? Like, you're at most of the games anyway.
If Harv Lucas is in the house, nobody wants to hear me do it. Believe me. Believe me. This is the Pluger Mechanical pregame show. Coming to you live from the Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Pluger Mechanical, licensed and insured for new installations, HVAC services, and light plumbing. Call Aaron at 231-282-3194. That's 282-3194. We are getting the Northern Truck Service starting lineups. And as we mentioned before, the girls' game, the Wildcats do that terrific thing where they're going to introduce all of the road players before giving their own players a little love with the lights dimmed and the big time announcing with the music. I think you know those starters out there. Lars, you want to tell us who the McBain Ramblers are starting?
So Ben Rodenbaugh is probably the one that Everett needs to stop. But I'll tell you what, sophomore Clayton Hooker had a monster game the other day. 30 points. He had 18 points in the first quarter. Like, he could have had 40.
Yeah.
Hayden Cucci's out there. Havercamp's out there. And Eileen is out there for McBain.
Well, I like the way they're doing this. The PA announcer is absolutely fired up right now as he introduces these Everett Wildcats. We're going to tell you their names, Lars, but I'm not sure we need to. You can probably hear the names from the PA announcer right now.
That is awesome. And the student section having their camera, flashlights on their phone. It's a dark atmosphere and those lit up. So that is cool. For Everett, Aiden Anderson, Kobe White, great story on him. Noah Vanderlyn, Lucas Johnson, and Asen Morgan starting for Everett.
All right, same crew that did the girls' game will be doing the boys' game, so you know it's a good one. And it is an absolute packed house on both sides of the floor for this one, as Asen Morgan and Ben Rodenbaugh will tip at the Wildcat logo, won by the Wildcats, and they will go left to right across your radio dial wearing their home white jerseys with blue and gold trim, as this is Kobe White. Little hesitation move, stops, pops from 10 and knocks it down.
Nice drive by Kobe, making that happen. Nice quickness.
Even in the semi-darkness on the other side. Ramblers wearing their road green jerseys with black and gold trim. There's Rodenbaugh on the right wing. Looking for Hooker down low, working against White. Got a size advantage on White. Double teamed. His pass attempt knocked away by Noah Vanderlyn, and the Wildcats come away with the steal. White, another little hesitation. Cut off nicely, though, this time by the double team from the Ramblers. He'll get it out to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn between the legs, thought about it. Now he'll give it up to Lucas Johnson. Curling blocked by Ben Rodenbaugh in the paint.
Nice effort by Ben Rodenbaugh getting over there outside defense and not picking up the foul.
2-0 Everett just underway here in this one. Hooker, one dribble, looking for somebody to come to the ball. He'll give it up to Eiling. Eiling swings it over to Rodenbaugh. Free throw line extended near sides. Over to Haverkamp. Down low for Hooker underneath the basket. Trapped, couldn't get a shot off. He'll kick it out to Eiling. Ramblers will reset as Rodenbaugh comes and gets it. Dribbles it into the Wildcat logo at center court. Over to Cucci on the left wing. Cucci, couple dribbles to Hooker. He'll give it up to Rodenbaugh. He'll fire from 14 and knock it down.
That is such a smooth shot by Ben Rodenbaugh. He's got a 5 to 10 foot shot that is money for him.
2-2, 6:20 to go here in the opening quarter. Is White looking for Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn going against Eiling, elevating, finishing the hoop and the harm. He'll go to the line for a three-point opportunity. The fans wanted a foul call as Eiling kind of got trapped behind Vanderlyn and was kind of falling on him. No call was made. Vanderlyn then took advantage and went to the 10.
So definitely an advantage for Everett not calling that first foul on Eiling,
sure.
who's just trying to catch his balance by leaning on his back.
Vanderlyn can't convert, though, and it's 4-2 Wildcats as Rodenbaugh brings it up over the timeline. Left-handed dribble in the Wildcat logo. Surveying the floor, uses a pick from Hooker. Curves to the right, now he'll bring it back to the top, to Eiling, and he'll get it back. Cucci now in front of the Everett Wildcat bench. Top side for Eiling. 5:50 to go here in the opening quarter. It's a 4-2 Wildcat lead. Rodenbaugh's pass tapped away by Anderson. Here come the Wildcats. Here's a three on the way, way too strong, and a loose ball, though, ends up right in the hands of Vanderlyn. That was Johnson. Vanderlyn's three's no good. Rodenbaugh pulls down the board.
Went high for that one.
Rodenbaugh quickly the other way. 5.5 to go here in the first. Haverkamp on the Wildcat Country logo on the far side. Sends it over to Cucci. Wildcats in a man-to-man. Ealing to Hooker. Top side for Haverkamp. Rodenbaugh to Ealing in the corner. They want to get it down to Hooker. They're looking to double team him. Triple team him now. Hooker, though, tough finish. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Out to Haverkamp for three. That misses everything. And Johnson collects the loose ball. Here comes Jacoby White. Into the corner. Three ball on the way. Good. Noah Vanderland with the triple. Lets the Wildcat student section know what's up. Actually, that was the Wildcat parent section, and they're all just kind of sitting there looking at him.
Why is he playing air guitar with three fingers out, right?
7-2 Everett, 4:35 to go. Here's Cucci, a still three ball is good. Aiden Cucci, you couldn't slide the Tustin area phone book under his feet on that one, and then Hooker with a block on the other end, and quickly a 30-second timeout called by head coach Bruce Copeman. We'll keep it right here. That was an impressive block by Hooker.
Yeah. And
then Copeman stopped the potential fast break with the quick timeout.
I don't think he liked what he saw for their offense. They did hit a three by Cucci, which was nice. I give Everett's defense credit. They're doubling Hooker when you get the ball, but hey, when you score 30 points in the game before, you're not going to let them go one-on-one down there. It's very physical down there, too. He's getting triple teams, getting pushed in the back, those types of things happening. No call on his attempt. Like you said, nice block there. But I'm looking at Everett's defense. They know McBain's offense with the flex offense.
Well, when you run it for 35 years, everybody's going to know it.
You see Vanderland there. He almost stole a pass there. Luckily, he didn't pass it. But there's going to be some steals there because they're anticipating that cross-court pass.
Well, and I'd love to see Clayton, just a junior, I'd love to see him look a little more to pass out of that double team, and that time he got a great seal in the middle. Beautiful pass from Rodenbaugh. Hooker turns, lays it in over the front of the rim, and draws the foul. He'll go to the line for a three-point opportunity. That was a great seal by Hooker, but a great entry pass from Rodenbaugh.
Coming right out of a timeout. You think that was a foul play?
Hard to say, and now Ealing's going to draw a foul on the rebound coming underneath Vanderland.
I love the athleticism of these guys on the court. There's a lot of bodies flying around.
Kobe White will bring it over the timeline for the Wildcats, going left to right. Little hesitation dribble on Haverkamp. Slings it over the far side for Anderson, who thought about the three, decided against it. Instead, he gets it down low to Asen Morgan, who's able to finish amidst the trees down low.
Coach's dad, you happy?
9-7 Everett, 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. Rodenbaugh working against Johnson, excuse me. Ealing over to Cucci, where he made the other three. Now he'll give it up to Haverkamp. Inside for Rodenbaugh, turning high off the glass, can't get it to go, but following the play is Hooker, who lays it up and in. Great rebound by Clay Hooker on the inside. 9-9 with 3.5 to go in the first.
Mopping it off the glass. Hooker's got a motor on him. Doesn't want to be denied on those rebounds.
White's jumper comes up short. Rodenbaugh with the rebound. He'll race down the other way. Boy, everybody looks like they're sliding a little bit on this floor. Haverkamp down low to Hooker, working against White. Double team, gets it over to Cucci. Three ball on the way is good. Great look from Clayton Hooker to Aiden Cucci for the open three, and the Ramblers with the first lead of the game, 12-9 with 3 minutes to go. Here's Vanderland with a quick long two, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Cucci. Rodenbaugh flying up. Over to Haverkamp, back to Rodenbaugh. He'll set up the offense. 2:45 to go in the first, Ramblers by 3. Hooker swings it over to Cucci at the high school logo here on the near side. They swing it back around to Hooker now on the right wing. Hooker looking for some help. Finds Rodenbaugh, pump fake. Now he'll dribble it away from Anderson. Now Rodenbaugh with a tough lefty finish. Nearly Euro stepped his way. Almost threw that up with the left hand behind his head. It was like a no-look layup attempt. But he will draw the foul, and Rodenbaugh go to the line for a couple. I think I broke an ACL just watching that.
A lot of subs at the scorer's table. These guys, some of them are gassed right now, playing so hard. 2:24 to go in the first. Ben's first shot is good. Trenton Brunick will come in for Ealing.
And Ethan Warren will check in, as well as Dryson Derscheid. I'm going to go with Derscheid. Derscheid? I'm going to go with Derscheid.
Yep.
Rodenbaugh is second. Comes up short, and the rebound collected by the Wildcats. 13-9 McBain, 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. Warren working against Cucci. He'll give it up to Derscheid. And now we're going to get a Chris Morgan Everett Wildcat timeout. He's walking out onto the floor. This is going to be a 30. So we will keep it right here. Just another quick reminder, if you're leaving our listening area, head over to 1079cdy.com, click that game logo, or just go right to YouTube, search for CDY Sports. You can find all of these games live streaming on YouTube. You can listen in anywhere where you've got a solid internet connection. Live streaming of McBain and NMC Sports here on 1079 CDY, brought to you by McLean Transmissions. For anything transmission related and for quality used cars, call 231-779-1394. That's 779-1394. McLean Transmissions on La Chance Road. Out of the timeout, Everett will have the ball in their front court. Jacoby White will dribble it through the maw of the Wildcat. Little crossover, stops, pops from 16. Back iron, no good. Haverkamp pulls down the board. Ben Rodenbaugh through the logo. Right-handed dribble, gets by his man Warren. Now he'll spin back out, trying to cross over against Warren. Uses a hooker pick. Now he'll call out the play. Over to Cucci on the right wing. Wants to get it down to Hooker. Hooker working against Morgan. Turns, skip past Haverkamp, open for three. Good.
I love this angle up here in the crow's nest. That ball looks so flat.
Well, after mentioning, I'd love to see Hooker pass out of those double teams. He's got 2 assists on 2 triples. There's a 3-ball on the way from Derscheid. Rebound pulled down by Rodenbaugh. 16-9 McBain. Cucci open for 3 in the corner. Good.
Wow, McBain's putting on a three-point clinic.
The Ramblers looking like the 2015 Golden State Warriors right now, as Aiden Cucci with his 3rd Welch's Building LLC triple of the game. It's a 10-point Rambler lead with 1:05 to go here in the first quarter. Warren working against Cucci. Into the corner. 3-ball on the way. Comes up short from Derscheid. Rebound tracked down by Brunick. Rodenbaugh bring it over the timeline for McBain. Rodenbaugh crosses over his man. Out to Cucci, now back to Ben, and he'll reset. 45 seconds to go here in the first. Haverkamp swung around to Rodenbaugh on the left wing. He'll give it up to Haverkamp, but taken away by Warren. Warren, little hesitation. Now a little fadeaway long jumper, no good, and that's going to go off. I was going to say it went off Anderson, so it'll be Rambler basketball. .28 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. It's a 10-point Rambler lead as Ben Rodenbaugh brings it over half court. Uses a Brunick pick, and immediately they call Brunick for the moving screen. Boy, he was barely there before they made that call.
So this is where the team needs to scout the refs.
To an extent, yeah. These guys are not going to let you get away with moving at all.
That's his favorite call. He loves the illegal screen. He calls it out every time. They should know that and not do an illegal screen, huh?
10 seconds. Jacoby White working against Haverkamp. Gives it up to Warren. 5 seconds. Warren double team back to White. White drives baseline, trying to get it over Rodenbaugh. And Clayton Hooker will baseball throw that thing past the backboard. Might have hurt somebody at the other end. Yeah, I'm glad it didn't come this way.
If it went this way, we got to protect the equipment.
Yes, we do. 19-9, the McBain Ramblers with a great start here in Everett. We'll take a break. Second quarter action coming your way right after this.
McLean Transmissions in Lake City services vehicles, foreign and domestic, specializing in transmissions, transfer cases, differentials, high-performance driveline, 4x4s, clutches, and computer diagnostics. For anything transmission and quality used cars, it's McLean Transmissions on LaChance Road between Cadillac and Lake City. Call 231-779-1394. That's 231-779-1394.
Truck Brokers of Cadillac has a new name and location. Allen's Auto and RV can now be found at the former Galvanics on M55 west of Cadillac. Here's what hasn't changed. A lot full of rust-free trucks, cars, and SUVs brought right here to the Cadillac area from southern and western climates that aren't harsh on vehicle bodies. The friendly service you've come to expect hasn't changed either. You'll also find a great selection of budget-friendly choices, plus a salvage yard offering used parts to the public, RV service, and outdoor storage. Allen's Auto and RV, M55 west of Cadillac.
And welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Ferdine, Connor Hammer, our producer and engineer, turn the dials for us back in the studio. Ramblers with a 19-9 lead over the Everett Wildcats here at Everett High School. And with possession to start this second quarter as Jacoby White, though, slaps away the Haverkamp pass. And the Wildcats with the steal. White now. Hesitation on Haverkamp, gets all the way to the 10 and lays it in with the left hand. Jacoby White with the blow-by. And it's a 19-11 Rambler lead. Rodenbaugh hands it off to Haverkamp. Over to Brunick, down low for Rodenbaugh, way too hot. And even Ben Rodenbaugh couldn't pull that pass in, so you know it was a little hot.
6'7" high jumper.
Substitution for the Ramblers. Brunick will take a seat, and Hooker, I'm not sure who had checked out, but it's your starting five right now for the Ramblers.
Yeah, Trenton Brunick went out.
Well, I couldn't remember who he came in for. Here's Jacoby White. His triple is no good.
Nice
rebound.
Effort.
Nice effort on the other end, but on this end, Haverkamp. Yeah, I was going to say, that's got to be goaltending. Yeah, that's a good bucket. Absolutely. That's impressive, Noah Vanderlind. You just can't do it. Haverkamp on the leak out. Great pass. His layup off the glass in the rim, and Vanderlind came from behind and swatted it off the rim, which is impressive by Vanderlind. But as the student section would tell you, you can't do that. And now we're going to get a Wildcat illegal screen. That's all I can think about now every time I see one. What you said, because it is the same official.
Oh, wait, you'll see more. No, but all these officials do a nice job.
Absolutely. 6:45 to go here in the second. Hooker, a little hesitation, lays it in over the front of the rim.
He's so comfortable down there. Nothing's out of control. Gathered himself after a quick move. No wonder he had 30 last game.
Jacoby White! Oh, my word! Good heavens, young man. What an athletic layup from Jacoby White. Elevating, switching to the left hand, and laying it around the Ben Rodenbaugh block attempt. 23-13 Ramblers, 6:15 to go here in the second quarter. Haverkamp, long jumper for him. No good, but guess who's underneath with the rebound and the putback? Mr. Clayton Hooker.
He's the cleanup crew.
Here's a quick pull from Dreisen Derscheid. No good, but White cleaning up on the inside. Finishes with the left hand. He's got 6, and he's got all of them in this quarter for the Wildcats. Haverkamp to Ealing, looking for help. Finds Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh dribbles into the middle of the lane. Turns, elevates, fires. Thought he was fouled by White. Rebound, though, by Ealing, and Ealing able to put it up and in off the glass. So the Rambler offensive rebounding, keeping them firmly in control of this one. 27-15, McBain 5:25 to go in the first half. White looking down low for Derscheid, who loses the handle. And White, sorry, that was Vanderlind. And that's going to be over and back. White's got his hands on his knees. He looks a little gassed right now. No help coming in for him, though, as they substitute out a couple of other Wildcats. Josh Rodenbaugh has checked into the game for McBain. Big brother Ben down low to Hooker. Hooker on the inside trying to finish, and he's going to draw the foul.
Josh Rodenbaugh has been a spark plug for McBain coming in. He's hit some quick threes in previous games, gotten some steals, setting his brother up.
On our last broadcast, him and Ben did a 14-0 Rodenbaugh run to start the second quarter, and that broke it open for him against Houghton Lake. Hooker, no doubt, thrown off by the screams from the Everett Wildcat student section that are on this side. Got to take advantage while they're in front of you, do your student sections. Hooker splits the pair. 28-15 Ramblers, 5 and 10 to go here in this first half. Johnson.
I like how you've adjusted to the slow scoreboard.
I know what I'm doing. White underneath, trying to find some help. Kicks it out to Warren for three, is good. Ethan Warren with the first triple for him in the game. 28-18 Ramblers, 4 and 45 to go in the second. Student section with a "he's a freshman" call. Is that true?
Must be.
Must be.
Why would they lie to us?
Hooker gets Vanderlyn off the floor and lays it up and in. He's on his way to another big game. Ethan Warren, oh sorry, that's Jet Reedy. That's not Ethan Warren. I keep saying Warren, it's Jet Reedy. I apologize, Mr. Reedy. Jet Reedy hit that three, and it's been Reedy every time I've said Warren. So any nice things I say about Warren, I apologize to Ethan Warren and definitely to Jet Reedy, the freshman. That was a good-looking pull from the freshman as well. Brett Ealing has picked up his second foul. Wildcats trigger under their own basket. Here's Reedy, cut off by Ealing's help. He'll give it up to Jacoby White out at the Wildcat logo. White, a little in and out move with the left hand, switches it. Back to Rodenbaugh, finishing with the left hand, can't get it over Ben Rodenbaugh, finds it on the ground, quick pass to Vanderlyn, who can't finish, and then that's gonna go off Hooker. Jacoby White on his backside as he tried to finish over top of Ben Rodenbaugh, fell to the ground, ball ended up right in his hands, and he flipped a pass to Vanderlyn, and boy, if he had finished that, this crowd would have went nuts.
Yes. I kind of wished he would have shot it from down there.
White quickly on an inbound, comes up short on the three. Rodenbaugh to his brother streaking the other way. Josh's right-handed floater won't go. Haverkamp with the putback, no good. Ealing and Hooker battling for it. Ealing takes it away, and he lays it up and in.
The nice part is they didn't knock it away from each other like in the girls' game.
Right. Ramblers lead it by 14, 3 and 40 to go here in the first half. Jacoby White working against Josh Rodenbaugh. Goes against the pick. Nice look out for Jet. Three in and out for Reedy. And Rodenbaugh with the rebound. Rodenbaugh quickly the other way. A little hesitation. Now he'll back it out. Being defended by Aiden Anderson. He'll give it up to Haverkamp. Topside Ealing looking for help. Finds Rodenbaugh on the right wing. Jacoby White trying to draw the foul on Hooker, and Hooker's going to get hammered by Morgan, who quickly helps him up. And that will send Clayton Hooker to the line for a couple free throws.
So the refs are talking. Hooker and Jacoby White had contact, and White fell to the ground. Hooker's pretty strong, so I'm not saying it's a flop, but have you seen the flopping call this year yet?
The motion? Well, I've not seen it.
You know,
I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I've seen it called. Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen it called yet. No.
If the refs determine that, oh, you're just trying to get a call out of that.
Yes.
And the first one's not a technical foul. I guess it's written down in the book. The second one would be.
Hooker splits the pair. 33-18, 3:05 to go here in this first half. Here's Reedy for three. Right side of the iron, no good. Rodenbaugh skies for the board. Ben up ahead for Hooker on the left wing. Puts it on the floor, kicks it out to Ben as Bruce Copeman's deep base from the far side calling out the play. Ealing to Rodenbaugh, curling at the top of the key. Rodenbaugh gets into the paint. Right-handed layup is good. Ben Rodenbaugh closing a lot of space as he floats forward with that long wingspan and lays it in. And now here's a steal. Josh Rodenbaugh and Jacoby White. Here comes Ben the other way. Ben into the lane, floats, and gets fouled on the arm by White. In Ben's estimation, the second time he's been hit on the arm by Jacoby White.
That's the old NBA trick where if you're defending them, you hit their elbow.
Yeah.
The refs don't.
I wasn't anywhere near that.
Don't even look
wasn't even at the ball. Right. How could it be a foul? It wasn't anywhere near the ball.
It's amazing when your elbow goes the different way than the shot.
Yeah.
How off you can be.
There's a guy who I know is not listening, so I can safely say this, that I play ball with on Sunday night, that doesn't elevate much on his jumper. He's like 6'4", but he'll shoot from anywhere, and he's a good shooter. But he's got this follow-through, this exaggerated flick hand follow-through, and if you even graze that hand, he'll call ball. Every time. Every time. Or if you do it, sometimes he won't call it, but he'll make sure he lets you know that he could have called it. Could have made that call.
It's always fun to play
The
with.
ball's gone. It had no impact on your shot. Stop it. Rodenbaugh splits the pair. It's 36-18. Ramblers doubled up on the Wildcats as Vanderlin's tough shot over the outstretched arms of Hooker, no good. Here come the Ramblers. Rodenbaugh over to Josh, back to Haverkamp, now back to Ben, top of the key. Back to Josh, left wing. He'll fire for three. Back iron, no good. Rebound, though, battled for. Anderson kind of had Rodenbaugh blocked off well, and the rebound ends up in the hands of Reedy. Quickly up ahead for Dershide. His three won't go, and Hooker pulls down the board. Hooker doing his best point guard imitation. Now he'll give it up to Brunick. His little 18-footer is no good. Vanderland with the rebound.
Probably would have been nice to have three people rebounding on that shot.
Minute 40 to go in the first half. Vanderland pump fakes Rodenbaugh off the floor. Swings it back over for Johnson, whose pass is knocked away by Hooker. Up ahead to Josh Rodenbaugh, who lays it in with the right hand.
Did he only dribble once in that three-quarter?
That was his best Giannis Antetokounmpo imitation, even though he's about 10 inches shorter. 38-18 Ramblers. Minute 15 to go in the first half. Dershide over to Vanderland in the corner for three. In and out. Rebound pulled down by Anderson. Blocked from behind by Rodenbaugh. Then Rodenbaugh over to Josh on the left side. Throws up the tough shot because he couldn't collect his feet. Hooker with the rebound, and then Hooker unable to finish on the inside. And he'll get a couple of free throws as Jacoby White's going to check. No, they call a travel on him. He was moving around quite a bit. Official right on top of that. Not going to say which one. Tim knows I love him. Inside a minute to go here in the first half. To 20-point Rambler lead as Jacoby White brings it over the timeline. Johnson, little hesitation on Hooker, blows by him. Back rim on the jumper, no good. Haverkamp collects the loose ball. He'll get it to Rodenbaugh. 40 seconds remaining as Ben Rodenbaugh will set up the offense. Over to Josh on the left wing. Top side for Brunick, who nearly lost it to Vanderland. He'll put it on the floor. Brunick to the rim, leaves it short. Hooker with the rebound. His putback won't go. And then he's going to knock it out of bounds, and it'll be Everett basketball.
I love Hooker's motor down there. Like, there's no easy rebound for Everett.
No. Must be some Wildcat fans over here. They're yelling 5, 4, 3 when it wasn't anywhere close to that number. 20 seconds remaining, and this one is Jacoby White brings it through the logo. Over to Vanderland. Down low to White, double teamed immediately. Gets around Hooker, tries to elevate. Hooker blocks it. Up ahead to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh, down low, Brunick, and he's able to finish.
Nice pass by Rodenbaugh.
And Vanderland will not get a shot off. Oh, they will. Dershide. Oh, my goodness gracious. Dershide nearly made that from just over half court. Off the back of the glass and the front of the rim. But does not go, and that will do it for the first half of play. The Ramblers busting this one open in the second quarter. 40-18 the lead here as we go into the McBain Hardware halftime show. We'll collect our stats and thoughts and be back right after this.
McBain Schools thanks the entire community for your unwavering support of your students' education and the passing of our bond and sinking fund initiatives. Your generosity has led to significant improvements, including a new track, secure entries, a new middle school gym floor, maintaining one-to-one technology, new buses, and more. This is just the start, as your contributions will continue to fund countless projects in the future. Your commitment to McBain Schools is inspiring. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, where students learn locally and compete globally. L&J Meat Market is just about the closest you can get to farm-to-table dining. Fill your freezer and fire up the grill with the exceptional taste and quality that only locally sourced meat can provide. Meat from L&J is carefully processed and prepared to be the freshest and most flavorful you'll taste. And L&J is committed to supporting local farmers. Buy by the pound or fill your freezer with money-saving beef, chicken, or sampler bundles, and eat for months on end. L&J Meat Market is a proud supporter of McBain Ramblers Sports, Maury Road, just south of Lake City. Truck Brokers of Cadillac has a new name and location. Allen's Auto and RV can now be found at the former Galvanics on M55 west of Cadillac. Here's what hasn't changed. A lot full of rust-free trucks, cars, and SUVs brought right here to the Cadillac area from southern and western climates that aren't harsh on vehicle bodies. The friendly service you've come to expect hasn't changed either. You'll also find a great selection of budget-friendly choices, plus a salvage yard offering used parts to the public, RV service, and outdoor storage. Allen's Auto and RV, M55 west of Cadillac. High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be. With over 20 years of WIC construction under his belt, Welch Buildings owner and president Nick Welch has built a company based on the values that helped him earn multiple awards from WIC and a growing list of happy customers. From tool sheds to dairy barns, Welch Buildings has an experienced crew team with a diverse set of subcontractors to expertly handle heating, plumbing, and concrete. See for yourself at welchbuildings.com and call for a quote. 740-403-5354. Welch Buildings of Luther.
Welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredine, Connor MC Hammer turning the downs for us back in the studio as our producer and engineer. Game 2 of our varsity doubleheader Highland Conference style here at 107.9 CDY, brought to you in part by Kelly's Pizza and Grill, McBain Lake City Family Pharmacy, Cadillac Auto and Truck Service, Boz Design Company, Pluger Mechanical, and Allen's Auto Service. Our sincere thanks to all of our broadcast partners for allowing us to bring these games to you. It's the McBain Ramblers right now, Lars, 40-18, as they have buried the Wildcats first with a barrage of threes. Aiden Cucci knocking down 3 Welch's Building LLC triples in the first quarter. Colton Haverkamp knocking one down himself. And then in the second half, it was all breakout runs and Clayton Hooker underneath as they go for 19 and 21 points in their 2 quarters, but in 2 very different ways.
Yeah, it's been a nice attack, balanced attack, if you will. Like you even mentioned, like this is not a Bruce Copeman 3-point shooting barrage. And then all of a sudden, after you said that, the low post started getting his scores in with Clayton Hooker cleaning up the glass and doing his moves.
Sometimes I'm looking for a blood red moon. I mean, I think it could be the end of civilization. I'm not positive, right? So
no, but super athletic game out there. Everett's defense is amazing. McBain getting some turnovers.
So Rich Spicer sending me an update from a radio station we will not mention, listing an end of first quarter score. I'm assuming this is boys basketball. Roscommon leading Beale City 14-3. That would be a mild upset, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's got to be some ice-cold shooting for the Aggies.
Beale City is known for the three-point shooting. They have that Austin Smalls on their team that just does amazing.
I didn't mean to interrupt your train of thought.
So quick. Yeah. So that is quite a surprise. Roscommon has some athletes, but not known for taking a commanding lead like that to a very athletic team.
It's more the defense, right? It's the defense. You're holding the Aggies to 3 points in the first quarter. That's impressive in and of itself right there.
But, you know, even Lake City in this conference run for boys, their record isn't great, but they've given McBain really some tough games in the first half.
Well, they held McBain to 47 points. I mean, they lost by 20, but they held McBain to 47, which is ridiculous for these Ramblers. So they did a really nice job, at least defensively, for sure.
And you never know, like, is someone sick on Beale City's team? Is there an injury?
But when you look at the conference standings, your top 4 teams all have impressive records. Beale City's the worst at 13-4 overall.
Yeah.
But then all the 5 other teams are all sub 500 overall.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a haves and have-nots. The bottom teams are beating up on each other, and the top teams doing the same. So Let's run down the scoring for you from that first half. This is the McBain Hardware halftime show for the Wildcats. They were paced by Jacoby White, the senior, who, as Lars alluded to, has a great story. He's got 8 points in the game, including an incredibly athletic drive to the right, elevated, switched to the left, and scooped it around the block attempt of Ben Rodenbaugh, who he's giving up, I think, 5 or 6 inches to. Noah Vanderlinde has 5 points in the game. Jet Reedy knocked down a 3. I even gave credit to that to Ethan Warren. Ethan, no offense, but you didn't make that bucket. And Asen Morgan has 2 points. He's also got 3 fouls, the only one in foul trouble to the best of my knowledge right now for either team on the Wildcats. That rounds out their scoring. They're 0 of 1 from the charity stripe
and
on the night.
Asen Morgan's trying to defend on Clayton Hooker too, and it's just tough.
It's a tough job. Ramblers getting multiple players into the books in that first half, led, unsurprisingly, by the aforementioned Clayton Hooker. He's got a game-high 12 thus far tonight. Aiden Cucci hit those 3 triples in the first quarter. He's got 9. They got 6 out of Ben Rodenbaugh, 5 from Colton Haverkamp, including his own Welch's Building LLC triple, and then a bucket apiece from Josh Rodenbaugh and Trenton Brunick. Brett Ealing has 4, both buckets coming in the second quarter underneath to round out the scoring for the Ramblers, who are 4 of 9 from the charity stripe. As Lars mentioned in the first game, it's snow coming, and we're getting the snow coming, what's that called again? Court. Snow coming court right now for the Wildcats.
There's 4 minutes to go, and I don't know if we're going to figure out who's king and queen in 4
time?
minutes. They might put some extended time on the clock.
Nah, we're gonna find out.
You know, you mentioned the Jacoby White story. He is out there for snow coming court. He's in his basketball uniform, along with the freshman that hit the 3.
Yeah.
Jet was his first name. I love that name.
Jet Reedy, yeah, it's a great basketball game. Yeah, he's going to be a heck of a baller. You can just see it. There's a good friend of mine, Kevin Gregory, who coaches the Cadillac Viking freshman team this year. A terrific ball player in his own right. He has broadcasted some games with me. He likes to watch the 2 teams warm up, and he can usually pick minimum 3, if not all 5 starters, just by watching them, how they warm up. And I think Jet Reedy would be somebody he'd identify as a potential starter just by the way he carries himself.
So the Jacoby White story, there was, Everett was going to Baldwin for a scrimmage last winter before the season started, and there was a car accident. And Jacoby White, along with 3 other basketball players, were injured severely. And 9 and 10 News, the TV station, did a nice report on that last week. I'm sure it's online and you could check that out, but shows just how they appealed to the MHSAA. They were able to get this medical red shirt, if you will, in high school to get another season. Now, he could not play football this year because he already did his senior year last year, but he can do track and basketball this year. So I think that's cool because that is, like, why punish a kid trying to recover?
Absolutely.
In a way, what a great goal as you're laying in your hospital bed going, maybe there's a chance, maybe that extra oomph to try to heal up.
Right. Well, and based on his performance in the first half, I'm glad they gave it to him because he's been fun to watch for sure.
So about 2 minutes to go in halftime, and I'll tell you, this is going to be the suspenseful, like the reigning king and queen are coming back.
I will say, I like the way that McBain does this, as they do it post-game.
Oh, yeah.
And allow him to get dressed and shower and dressed and come out. But there's your king announcement.
Cole Sachs, if you're listening from the Everett area.
Yep.
Now, McBain does homecoming in the winter because we used to not have football. And I would think the women would love that because they don't have to go out in the freezing cold in their
exactly
dresses.
Right, yeah. There you go.
McKenna Cass.
The pair. It's always fun when it's the pair, when they're paired together and they both win king and queen, right? There you go.
So they did put 3 more minutes on the clock that will start once once this is all done.
Yeah,
but you're
once
right. You know, McBain could stay for 2 hours after the game and get all the pictures for homecoming. This is kind
They
of
do
like
it pretty quick. It's cool because they bring all the elementary kids
yeah.
in and they surround the court. And it's always fun when we do that game for radio because there's no rush to get off the air, really, because they're just doing all this stuff around us as they're getting everything set up. And it's fun to talk about the game and talk a little bit about the snow coming court. Does McBain call it snow coming or no? They call it homecoming.
It's homecoming. They do a fall semi-formal dance. That maybe it's casual. I'm not sure. And then they do have a prom, like everybody else does. So
yeah.
I guess there's short one dance, but I feel like they've done a snow coming before also.
Well, and a big part of the reason that, as you mentioned, the reason they do that is they had basketball before they had football. So. This is the McBain Hardware halftime show here at Everett High School. Game 2 of our doubleheader, the girls contest won by the Everett Wildcats 47-38 over the McBain Ramblers in our opener. Right now, the McBain Rambler boys have a 40-18 lead over the Everett Wildcats as the Ramblers try to run the slate and pick up yet another conference championship under legendary, this is what Hawkeye says I have to say, legendary Hall of Fame coach Bruce Copeman. Bruce would be aghast if he knew I was describing him that way, but Hawkeye requires me to do that. McBain obviously has to close this one out tonight, but they still have Northern Michigan Christian at home, and then a couple tough ones. Pine River on the road, as Pine River has played well and is among those 4 teams looking for a shot at the title. But then all of a sudden now, based on what Rich Spicer is sending me, Roscommon could be some trouble looking ahead as they are taking care of business with Beale City at home. So it's going to be an interesting slate to close out. You can't overlook anybody in the Highland Conference.
That's why you play the games, right?
That is why you
Yeah,
play
Roscommon
the games.
only 3-9 in conference, so that'd be a huge upset. You know what's funny, though, is I feel like you've called Bruce Copeman a Hall of Fame coach for 20 years, right?
I just call him that to call him that,
You know, I think, what was it, 2 years ago maybe, that he actually got inducted into the Hall of Fame, but everybody knew he would, especially with the amount of wins he has. And he coached girls, and that actually can be combined for it. So, what is he at? 700?
I don't even know. It's an insane number. I do want to point out, I just realized, this is girls basketball. So the Roscommon Beale City game that we're getting updates on is girls basketball.
Okay.
So
Roscommon is very talented with some sophomores and freshmen.
The Bucks lead Beale City 31-8 at halftime.
So that is not a surprise. I'm surprised with the score, but I would expect Roscommon to have won that game anyway. So yeah, that changes. Yep. So a minute 29 to go in the half. McBain up 40-18 if you're just joining us. And we kind of saw the air show tonight from the three-point line with Aiden Cucci getting a couple, Haverkamp getting one. And then the second quarter, we saw some transition and some down low. You ever notice with McBain games that they run through their offense and the game's pretty close, and they break the game open with their transition game, Ben Rodenbaugh being the quarterback on the floor, finding some people running. And they're not afraid to pass it.
No, they have been very, almost used the wrong word, but yeah, they're spreading the ball around. There's no question about that. And this is the kind of McBain Rambler team that if they want to make a deep run, it can't just be the Ben Rodenbaugh, Clay Hooker show. They've got to get contributions elsewhere. And Cucci's three-point shooting, Haverkamp's three-point shooting, and Josh Rodenbaugh's three-point shooting are going to be huge because the gravity of Rodenbaugh and Hooker are going to draw a lot of attention. Hooker especially, and if Clayton Hooker can find wide-open three-point shots out of those double teams, Bucks or the Ramblers can hang with just about anybody in Class C, certainly north of Mount Pleasant. So.
The funny thing is, too, Clayton Hooker's a really good three-point shooter. He's
solid, but he never gets to get too many looks because he's usually down low dealing with all that.
So there is the buzzer. Third quarter is going to start here as soon as Everett gets out on the court.
This has been the McBain Hardware halftime show for See Ron or Tyler? Well, no, wait. I'm not supposed to say that. Is it just see Ron now for all your needs, or just Tyler? I can't
think
remember.
all of them. Trevor, too, right?
But as Gary's brother-in-law will tell you, if McBain Hardware doesn't have it, you probably don't need it. Wildcats with the ball to start the second half, going right to left across your radio dial. Jacoby White gives it up to Johnson. Swung around for Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn puts it on the floor against Ealing, trying to get to the rim, and does over the outstretched arms of Cucci. Finishing past Ealing, Noah Vanderlyn with the first bucket to start this second half.
Makes it a 20-point game with McBain leading.
Rodenbaugh on the left wing, top side for Haverkamp. Swung to the right to Cucci. Lefty dribble, will give it up to Rodenbaugh, top of the key. Starters on the floor for both teams. Here's Cucci for three. Front iron no good. Haverkamp at the weak side board, but tapped away by White, who collects it, and he'll bring it over half court forever. Jacoby White, little hesitation again, gives it up to Johnson, who drives baseline, curling pass for Morgan in the paint, who I think was kind of surprised by it. Can't finish, trying to get his own rebound, and the Ramblers come up with it. Here's Ealing. Gives it up to Rodenbaugh, who brings it over half court. Now he'll curl around and set up the offense. Morgan genuinely seems surprised by that great pass by Johnson. Wasn't quite in position to take the shot initially.
Yeah, Johnson had two options down there. Ended up in Morgan's hand.
Haverkamp skip pass for Cucci. Chased off the line, though, by Aiden Anderson. Rodenbaugh over to Haverkamp, right wing. Top side for Rodenbaugh, gets by Vanderlyn. He'll stop and pop for three, top of the key. Back iron, no good. Ealing chasing it down and almost went into his own bench.
I want to see a dive there.
Yes.
You know,
if he trusted his teammates, he could have just launched himself. It would have been fine.
I love the pass a little bit in basketball. So when Ben shot that three, Clayton Hooker was rolling to the hoop. That would have been a great little pass to him.
Jacoby White's three off the back iron, no good. Hooker with another rebound. Hooker now will get it down on the block, working against Morgan, spinning, hesitation, gets to the rim, over the front of it, and finishes. Clayton Hooker just putting on an absolute footwork show down low as Rodenbaugh defending Anderson will take it away from him.
Nice
Rodenbaugh,
pass.
nice pass up to Cucci, who misses the right-handed layup, and now we're going to get a foul on Hooker going over the back of the Wildcats.
Ben Rodenbaugh with a great dime to Aiden Cucci, just a little bit off the rim there. Timeout by Everett. It's going to be a full timeout.
Yep, it is. Coach Chris Morgan wants to talk things over. While he does, we'll take a quick break. 5:45 to go here in the third quarter. Ramblers by 22. We'll be back right after this.
McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is now featuring new healthcare services, including walk-in testing, online appointments for COVID and flu testing, and vaccines. McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is your first and one stop for your family's health. Go to McBainFamilyPharmacy.com to set up your appointment today and see the difference local makes. Proud local supporter of the McBain Ramblers.
5:45 remaining in the third quarter of this Boys Highland Conference varsity basketball contest between the McBain Ramblers and the Everett Wildcats here on 107.9 CDY, brought to you in part by Welch Building LLC, McBain Public Schools, Northern Truck Service, McLean Transmission, Huttinga Electric, and McBain Hardware. The Ramblers with a 42-20 lead over the host Wildcats here on Snow Coming for Everett. They crowned their king and queen at halftime. Jacoby White, who has the ball for the Wildcats, one of those members of the court for Everett, as Anderson's bounce pass attempts knocked away by Ealing out of bounds, so the Wildcats will trigger under their own basket. McBain took control of this one after a three-point barrage from Aiden Cucci in the first quarter. He knocked down three from long range. A nice look across the lane by Anderson. Vanderlyn got it knocked out of his hand by Cucci, got it back. Looking for help, now taken away by Haverkamp. Haverkamp over the head of Anderson. What a finish by Haverkamp.
I was like, what is he going to, oh, he's just going to go at the hoop, and he threw it up and it goes in.
It sure did. Good defense by the Ramblers. Anderson made a heck of a move. Again, I tore an ACL watching him, not even defending him. White picks up his dribble looking for some help. Gets it to Anderson in the paint. Little hezzy. Gets inside Rodenbaugh. Blocked by Ben Rodenbaugh. And now we're going to get...
Technical?
No, we're going to get a talking to.
There has to be a T.
I think it's just a warning potentially because he didn't indicate technical, so I think it's a warning.
Why?
I don't know.
How can a ref stop a fast break?
Yeah, that's if I'm Bruce Copeman, I'm a little bothered by the fact that you just stopped my fast break because Chris Morgan said something to you.
Right.
As we're going to get, the two officials are going to talk about this now, not including the official who made the call. That'll probably come up in a review later. That just surprises me. I'll have to ask that question now, too.
Not that you want, like, obviously you can't get two technicals in a game.
Right.
But,
no, I'm not saying that Morgan should have got a technical. I'm just saying you could have given him that warning after
the play, right?
McBain had, given up possession. We're going to get a foul on the floor now. Kobe White defending Hooker on the other end.
I'll give Jacoby credit. He's trying to keep Hooker out of the paint.
Yeah.
So he basically...
Tough job. Actually, they called that foul on Morgan? Yeah, that's Morgan's fourth. I didn't even see
he wasn't
him
even near him. Hooker.
Morgan, Coach Chris Morgan not arguing the call. Aiden Cucci takes the inbound. He'll give it to Ben Rodenbaugh. Now he'll set things up. 4.5 to go here in the third. Ramblers 44-20 with the lead. Hooker, pump fake, skip pass for Rodenbaugh to the right wing. Rodenbaugh wants to get it down to Ealing, but Ealing now
I like
will move
that
out of the way. Rodenbaugh. Vanderland trying to draw the foul. Finds Cucci on the far side. Front iron no good. And now we're going to get a foul on Hooker going over the back of Derscheid. And that was scary for Hooker because Derscheid, doing the right thing, just boxing out, got underneath of Clayton Hooker.
That's a tough one because Hooker's straight up and Derscheid's leaning into him in a box
I wouldn't say he was straight up, necessarily.
So really, like an undercut is made.
And now we're going to get a discussion.
Do you think this could be a double foul?
This could be. The officials now going to come together and talk about this, and they're sending their players to the bench so they can't hear the conversation as they put their hands over their mouths. Always love this look.
Hey,
so, Lars, I was watching the ball. Did you see, is this a possible double foul call?
I don't know who you're going to call the foul on. It could have been an illegal screen, and Ben tried to go through the screen, so there's a lot of contact. I think you call a double foul just to settle both teams down because they're putting more oomph into their picks and trying to get through.
Yeah. If you're trying to go around, this is where the argument would be. As a defender, if you're trying to go around a pick and the pick moves, it shouldn't be a foul on you trying to go through it if the pick is not where it initially was set, right? But on the other hand, you can't aggressively go through a pick. So.
All right, what do they got here? They're going to call it on White.
We're going to call it on, it's going to be an intentional foul.
Wow.
A flagrant foul on Aiden Anderson of the Wildcats, and the official's going to come over and explain this to Coach Chris Morgan.
It was very physical, but Ben tried to go through the screen too.
Right. This is why I don't want to play basketball on Sunday nights anymore. I can't handle this physicality anymore. I'm just too.
Isn't it just a three-point game anyway? Is your
no? You'd be surprised. No, it's really not. You'd be surprised. It can debase into that late in the night when everybody's tired, but early on, there's a lot of cutting.
A lot of
there's
cutting
a lot of
when people have energy, right?
Well, my aforementioned Kevin Gregory, when I mentioned Kevin earlier, Kevin is an incredible point guard. I mean, he will find you. If you move, he will find you. I mean,
that's the key to it.
He's really good at that.
I'm going to reward the guy that cut.
I can't believe I'm talking him up on this broadcast. Now, I hope he never listens.
He's such a great guy.
I don't want him to hear any of this.
Now he refs also, does he?
He used to. He has stopped. He coaches now. He's the freshman coach at Cadillac. So Ben Rodenbaugh makes both of the technical free throws, 46-20. Ramblers with the lead, 3:54 to go. Rodenbaugh gets into the paint, tough-looking shot. Hooker, though, with the rebound, and he is hammered by Johnson coming down from behind. And Johnson
is like, don't have a conversation, refs. Don't get together and talk, because that was pretty aggressive.
It was a hard foul, but he's making sure he doesn't get the shot off. That's a tough thing, man. It really is.
He did hit the ball first.
Hooker is the Trent Mulder of the Highland Conference. He doesn't really care how much you make contact with him. He's getting that shot off, and he hates to call the foul.
So do you play ball with Trent too then? Yeah.
I try to play ball with Trent.
He's amazing. He was the point guard on the championship team, but when you play with him, he's down low all the time, isn't he?
Well, he's got the ball in his hand all the time, and the best way to defend him, as we're talking about old men instead of these young guys, the best way to defend him is to just pull the chair out, leave him alone. If he doesn't feel your contact, he doesn't know what to do. So 48-20, Ramblers firmly in control of this one as Anderson inside trying to go over. Cucci can't finish, and then we're going to get a foul on the floor on the putback attempt by Johnson. So it'll remain Wildcat basketball.
Give the refs credit. They're trying to keep control of this game.
Yep.
Because it's a very physical game.
First foul on Rodenbaugh. They'll get it in to Derscheid, whose name I have to keep looking up. It's a nice job. Well, blocked by Ben Rodenbaugh, but a nice job there by Lucas Johnson, getting his man on his back, going to the rim. Rodenbaugh came over, got the block, but got the foul as well. And it'll send Johnson to the line for a couple of free throws as the Wildcats try to figure out what to do in this one.
That's always been the tricky part with McBain, Bruce Copeman's defense is he makes it feel like you can drive baseline, and then all of a sudden, boop, help side comes over, and you're now trapped, and you're going, where did that come from?
Yeah, both of these teams, neither of these teams are small. The Wildcats' shortest guy on the roster is 5'10", which means he's probably 5'9". As Johnson makes one of two. Clayton Hooker, pump fake, over to Rodenbaugh. Three ball from the right wing, comes up short, and then
It goes in, of course, yeah.
over the top of the backboard, hits the support, and then drops through the basket, but that is not a bucket, so it'll be Wildcat basketball. 48-21, McBain 3 and 12 to go here in the third quarter.
Aiden's holding the back of his head. He took a tough elbow going through a screen.
It's a nice move by Jet Reedy trying to get inside, but Ealing with the potential block. Rodenbaugh comes up with the loose ball. Rodenbaugh, little Euro step out to Haverkamp. Three ball on the way. Back iron no good. Kobe White with the rebound. Kobe White will bring it over half court. 2:45 to go in the third quarter. Rodenbaugh with another block. And now we're going to get a technical foul on the Wildcats. And I will say, Hawkeye, Lars, I want nothing to do with officiating. I could never be an official. I just couldn't do it because I'm watching that and I'm thinking to myself, well, Rodenbaugh's got good position. He's maintaining where he's going, but he's putting his hands on White. And as far as I know, letter of the law, you can't put your hands on the offensive player.
Now, there is the legal guarding position.
But you can't put your hands on the offensive player. You can have legal guarding position, but you can't put your hands on them. And that's what he's doing.
Chris Morgan loses his coaching box, so he has to sit. And I'm not sure that was actually on Chris. It might have been
on the bench. Might have been a player. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm sure something was said. And into the frustration of it being over a 20-point game. Because there's
the crowd
a lot
for sure
of
doesn't like it. Yeah, the crowd for sure doesn't like it.
And there's just some physical play going on.
Yep, absolutely.
You don't want to see cheap shots or anything, so the refs are trying to keep things as clean as possible.
Rodenbaugh wanting to get it down low to Hooker. Does. Hooker able to finish.
How do you stop that?
You don't. You foul him. It's a 30-point Rambler lead. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. White looking for some help. He'll get it over to Reedy. Jet Reedy, the freshman, gets into the lane, stops, fires, comes up short. Rebound grab by Hooker. I'm going to say Hooker established one foot and dragged the other one.
I think it just looks weird. That's why they always
It does
call
look
that.
weird. I just didn't think that he necessarily traveled, to be honest with you. But
Yep.
again, that's why I'm not in the stripes down there. I don't know what I'm talking about. Wildcats get it into Vanderland. He'll fire for three. Back iron no good. Rebound tapped to Haverkamp. He'll give it up to Ben Rodenbaugh, who will bring it over half court, working against Johnson. Through the Wildcat logo, over to Haverkamp. 2 minutes remaining here in the third.
Everett's only scored 3 points this quarter, right?
Yes, Havercamp's fadeaway jumper is no good, and the rebound pulled down by Vanderlyn. White back to Vanderlyn with a head of steam, looking down low for Dershide, but it's knocked away by Havercamp, so the Wildcats will trigger under their own basket. And trying to draw a foul was Dershide, who hit the ground hard. I'm going to assume that that was not a flop, because that did not sound, you wouldn't hit the ground that hard if you were flopping.
Refs are talking.
They are.
It's 5 fouls on McBain.
It is 5 fouls on McBain,
so they're trying to figure out who took the hard hit.
It was
I
Dershide
would look
that took
around
the
to
hit.
go like, who's doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
To their back.
Who's walking around the most gingerly? And it's Dershide for sure.
They couldn't tell because 4 and 5 have the same haircuts.
Oh, they do. They could be brothers. But it is Joyce and Dershide, and he knocks down the first and gets into the books. That's his first point of the game.
So basically came down to Clayton Hooker trying to get through a screen on the inbound. Big, deep throw to Josh, not far enough.
Nope.
Intercepted, basically.
Stolen by Dershide. Vanderlyn with a little in and out move, trying to split between Hooker and Rodenbaugh. You see, the crowd's crying about that, but the thing is Ramblers are just standing there. He tried to split the defense. Yeah, that's not. Again, that's why this officiating is so hard. You and I understand that. Nobody supporting the Wildcats understands that.
Yeah, and you're starting to hear some things said from the bleachers too, so hopefully it stays clean.
And Johnson's going to pick up the foul.
That's a tough call. It's obvious. It was a hand in the back.
I gotta call Tim Beggany on the way home. I gotta hear about it. I gotta call him on the way home.
The thing is, as a ref, let's say you do mess up on a call. You can't stop calling stuff because you feel bad that you messed up on a call. So you call the next thing you see. And for Everett fans, it was a foul on Everett. And then Rodenbaugh misses it first, so now they're going, ball don't lie.
Yeah, but I don't think either one of us agree that, I think both of us agree that that was not a foul on the other end, that he was out of control.
Yeah, definitely.
Tried to split the defense and tripped going through him. That's not their fault. Minute and a half to go here in the third as Reedy into the paint, turns, fires, and lays it in over the front of the rim. Jet Reedy makes it a 52-23 Rambler lead. Josh Rodenbaugh out to Havercamp. Tried to put it on the floor, and now they're going to get to Kobe White for the foul.
White gives the ball back to the ref right away. I've seen NBA officials call a T on that.
Right. Just handing you the ball.
Exactly.
Just handing you the ball. What do you want?
So both teams with 5 fouls, minute 16 to go. So every foul, they'll be shooting free throws. Havercamp puts up the first and makes it. Trent Brunick comes in for Clayton Hooker.
I would think that Hooker and Rodenbaugh's night could be just about over. I mean, I'm not saying this Wildcat team's not dangerous, but with a 28-point lead, as physical as this game is getting, I don't think I want my 2 best players out on the floor if I can help it. Reed looking for the pass, taken away by Rodenbaugh. They're not going to let Rodenbaugh dunk. And Dershide, that's going to be an obvious intentional foul. You know, Dershide just did not want Rodenbaugh dunking, and so he just basically pushed Rodenbaugh. Now, to his credit, he did it before Rodenbaugh got in the air.
Yeah.
So there was no danger of hurting him, but still.
It was a pride thing. You're not going to dunk on me.
You're not dunking, right. Everybody in the gym knows what Rodenbaugh wants to do at that point.
Now, the AD's over talking to the kids. Is it just to settle them down, or? Yeah, Everett's AD's talking to the whole bench and everything right here, right?
Yes. Yes, he is.
He's basically saying, clean it up. So good job there.
Rodenbaugh splits the pair for the 3rd time in this quarter.
Now this
It'll be Rambler basketball into their own basket with a minute 8 to go. They lead by 30.
Because it was a flagrant.
In the 3rd quarter, sorry.
They don't take it at half court. They take it where the foul occurred, so.
Ben will get it into Brunick out at the logo. Give it back to Ben at the top of the key. Down low to Brunick. Across the lane for Hamilton. Drew Hamilton has just checked into the game. Out of bounds, so the Ramblers will trigger again. Ben Rodenbaugh will again pull the trigger. Ben gets it out to Josh. Back down low to Brunick against Reedy. Inside, gets it in, lays it up.
Nice patience by McBain on their low post moves, making sure they're not out of control on their shots.
Reedy will give it up to Dershard. Nice pass across the lane, blocked by Hamilton up top. And of course, every Wildcat fan in the gym thought it was a foul. Down low, Brunick all alone.
Oh,
no call on that. Brunick missed it, but he gets the putback and lays it in.
Dershide, I think, did a flyby.
Well, Vanderlyn with the flyby, and there was definite contact. Normally that'd be called a foul, and they just let it go. Kobe White trying to go baseline on Brunick will get the foul call. And it's going to be shooting foul for White because of the 5. Drew Hamilton on the other end down here, by the way. Great block on Lucas Johnson as he went up for the layup attempt on a gorgeous dime from Dershide.
Just became a nominee right there.
There, sure did. Sure did.
As now I remember, I have to start keeping track of this stuff.
Well, I was trying to help you in this one. I'm paying closer attention. It's easier to remember them when you're doing play-by-play, not going to lie.
17 seconds to go. A lot of physical contact, and it's going to be more free throws. Like I said, the refs don't want this to get out of control. They're going to call what they see, and it is a very quiet crowd because it's such a lopsided game, but the kids are still playing hard.
Yep.
And honestly, both teams are so athletic. They're so fun to watch. Some of these moves these guys make.
Well, Wildcats just look like the kind of team that, when they're on, could absolutely give anybody fits in the league. Rodenbaugh's forcing me to go to a second line for free throws. Jeez, oh, Pete.
Two misses by
Misses them
Rodenbaugh.
both, but the rebound ends up tapped back to Rodenbaugh. He'll elevate from the baseline. His jumper's no good. Brunick with a rebound to Josh Rodenbaugh, who lays it up and in.
Clock wasn't going, so they figured that's the quarter. Look at Ben Rodenbaugh's basketball IQ there, knowing the clock didn't go, so he's pointing it out to the refs.
We got our bucket, now I'll call it. I assume that's the end of the third quarter?
Clock still says 13.1,
Clock still says
but
13. The Ramblers are out on the floor, so I'm not sure what's happening right
before their quarter timeout, and the refs are talking, so
we might not be taking a break going into the fourth. Oh, maybe we are.
Clock has it now.
You know what, we're just going to keep it here. Because now we are going to the fourth quarter. I've lost the time to make the call.
So 61-26. Now the cool part is, with that foul rule, the fouls have cleared down to 0.
Yes.
So each team can have 4 freebies, if you will, where free throws aren't being shot.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take advantage.
Curious on how many Hooker has for points.
Well, I could tell you that as soon as I add it up.
There's a lot of 2s in there, isn't there?
Well, it's the free throws I'm trying to get to. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 9 of 14 in that third quarter where the Ramblers. Hooker has 18 right now.
There's still a fourth quarter to go, and a lot of the fans are either checking out the concessions or they're heading home.
Yeah, the Ramblers have kind of taken the excitement out of this one with a barrage as they put up 21 again in the third quarter.
Rodenbaugh passes Rodenbaugh. Casey Pollington's in now. Brunick down to Rodenbaugh, posting up.
Rodenbaugh turns, elevates on that little front shot. No block from behind by Reedy on Brunick. And then this is going to be a foul call on Brunick. And it'll be Wildcat basketball. Not going to lie, mildly surprised Rodenbaugh's still on the floor. I would assume they'd let Josh run the point. Ben Rodenbaugh, I don't believe, actually gets tired. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Here's Jacoby White for 3, knocks it down. 61-29 Ramblers as Ben Rodenbaugh gets past Vanderlyn. Over to Josh, looking down low for Brunick. Now swing it topside for Hamilton. Rodenbaugh on the left wing. Ben, topside Pollington, he'll fire for 3. Left iron actually misses everything. And now Dershard goes to the floor. Brunick was in the area. I don't know if Brunick was the cause
I did
of
not see
Derscheid
it
going to the
happen.
floor, but he hit the floor hard.
Looks like ankle.
He's coming up slowly.
Like you said, they're so athletic out here. Bodies are all over the place. They're jumping as high as they can.
Yeah.
And when there's an ankle under a foot under your ankle, it's nothing pretty.
Yeah, that could very well have been all it was, that he just happened to step
is he
on somebody
holding his
else's
knee?
foot. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if you step on somebody's foot, it could be your knee or ankle. Derscheid will sit down. Anderson checks back into the game for the Wildcats. It's Kobe White. Nice look down low for Anderson. Kick out Vanderlyn back to White. Ramblers doing a nice job of covering. Oh, boy. Kobe White trying to turn as Brunick was trying to draw a foul on the inside. White got undercut slightly, and White might have banged his head on the floor as the athletic department, Ben, your AD, and the coaching staff come out to take a look at Kobe White.
Especially after him recovering from the accident. You don't know if he's still got some.
And he's going to bounce
right
up. Yeah, he's all right. Well, these kids are largely made of rubber, but you never want to see that kind of thing.
Because the coaches came on the court, he's got to come out.
Yep. He'll have to sit temporarily.
But so someone shoots the free throws for him. That's the hard part.
He was passing.
Oh.
So I don't think there's going to be free throws. I think it's going to be Wildcat basketball. It's the fourth on Brunick, second on the Ramblers in this quarter. 61-29, McBain, 7 minutes to go in the game. Vanderlyn, quick trigger over Brunick. No good on the three. Rebound. Tapped out of bounds by Morgan.
Both Everett guys going for it.
Yep.
Morgan kind of, instead of grabbing it, tapped it. And McBain ball.
Ben Rodenbach still in the game. We'll bring it over half court.
White pops up. He's going to check back in.
Josh on the right wing. Over to Hamilton, top of the key, cut off by Vanderlyn to Pollington. Over to Brunick. Brunick will put it on the floor. Brunick going to the rim over Morgan. Morgan with a partial block.
Good take by Brunick.
And able to come up with a loose ball. Here's Anderson for three. Back iron, no good. Rebound grabbed by Johnson, and Pollington's going to pick up the foul.
Casey Pollington had his hands on his chest when he was jumping.
He's just trying to get himself a little more elevation, that's all.
Remember how I joked about how they had 4 free fouls to get? They're at 3 already, and we're only a minute and a half into the fourth quarter.
They are. Jet Reedy takes a seat.
So does Ben Rodenbach.
Vanderlyn trying to get around Brunick, goes into Pollington and draws the foul.
Clock is not moving much with all these fouls. That's the 4th team foul. It's on the ground, so they're not shooting. Next foul on McBain. Everett will go to the line.
Pollington wants to see if it's possible to foul out by playing only the fourth quarter. Anderson gets by his man. Did Hamilton get a piece of that?
He did.
Dang, Drew Hamilton, second block of the game.
That was a better block than the first one.
Wow. Can you give just the play of the game for everything you did defensively? Josh Rodenbach pops from the left elbow, leaves it short. Hamilton saves it, trying to throw it off a Wildcat into the hands of Pollington, whose jumper comes up short. And then Morgan climbs the ladder to grab the rebound. 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Ramblers up 61-29. To Kobe White, little hesitation, and trying to get around Pollington, and Pollington will pick up his third. Kayson's kind of confused, but the thing is Kobe White's hesitation move forced Pollington to react to something he didn't know was happening, and he picks up his third. Kobe White's hesitation game is on point.
So
that little put the hand over the ball but don't touch it thing.
Yes.
He's got that going on.
So 2 minutes and 7 seconds into the fourth quarter. McBain's already
White at the
5
line.
times.
White knocks them both down. 61-31 as Josh Rodenbach brings it over half court.
They were looking for over a back, but
you got to get all 3 points over.
It's such a tough line with that Everett Wildcat.
But you also have to have both feet and the ball over the line. Vanderlyn looking for help. Boy, oh boy. Not sure why he didn't just finish that one.
McBain has numbers.
Josh over to Maloney, who's checked into the game. Thomas Maloney. Josh Rodenbach drives to the elbow, out to Pollington. One dribble, looking for help. Top side for Brunick. Swung over to Josh on the right wing. Topside Thomas Maloney, left wing now for Brunick. Drew Hamilton trying to set up shop on that block. Now they'll swing it around to the right side. Hollington to Maloney. Maloney looking for help. Double teamed, and now Coach Copeman will get a timeout. 30-second variety as he wants to talk to his second unit about what they're doing offensively.
Well, the thing is, you don't want the quick shots like the Everett girls did late in the game when they had an 11-point lead that got knocked down to a 4-point lead. So you're trying to run some clock and still get a quality shot. So it's tough. It's the whole play-in to win versus playing not to lose.
I'm convinced Bruce Copeman would have an absolute meltdown if his second unit just started jacking up shots and not running his offense.
Yep.
So that's a quick way. That's a quick way to become part of the fourth unit.
Yes.
And if you're wondering if there is a fourth unit, no, there is not a fourth unit on the team.
And the thing is, they've had open 3 looks, but wisely didn't take them to run some more clock.
Run the offense. Look for those layups.
If you can run a minute off each possession, you got 4 possessions left.
Brunick looking for help, finds Pollington. He'll hand it off to Josh to restart. Defended by Johnson. Josh drives baseline, looking down low for Brunick. Brunick tied up by Morgan and will get a jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to the Wildcats.
It's kind of hard to be this type of player where you have to run the clock and you can't be aggressive, you know what I mean, take it on your own.
Right.
Because Everett's just coming out and playing tough defense right in
Yeah,
the
they've
face.
still got starters on the floor, and they're trying to do everything they can to Kobe White. Little in and out move, stops and pops from the left elbow.
Maloney has it down low, kept it.
Maloney
Knocked away by a couple Everett, so that he picked it back up.
Covers to Josh. Pollington now trying to get by Johnson, gets into the paint, loses the handle, gets it out to Brunick. Brunick uses a Pollington pick. Bounce pass for Josh at the mouth of the Wildcat at center court. Drew Hamilton. Is it just me, or are they sliding all over the place on this floor?
Good point.
Pollington just traveled. That wasn't sliding, that was just extra steps. But I swear, it just seems like more kids than I'm used to seeing are sliding everywhere.
Things, maybe they're sequenced from their dresses.
I don't know, yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
It's a nice looking floor though, different colors and
yeah, I love
cool
the painted
graphics.
3-point line area. White, kick out, Vanderlyn, 3 ball, no good. Anderson, though, collects the rebound, can't finish, and then Hamilton's going to knock this out of bounds. It'll be Wildcat basketball. 61-33 McBain, 3:46 to go in the ball game. Johnson will trigger. Top side for White, checked by Maloney. Blows by him, and Hamilton with his 3rd block of the game. As White was trying to scoop it with the right hand, and Drew Hamilton just stuck that left arm out and knocked it away. White again gets to the rim and trying to turn the body.
Josh was going to try to take a charge and then just tried to get out of the way, and White fell pretty hard, but I don't think anything.
It's a scary thing when you come in as an offensive player and you leave the ground like that. Defenders are entitled to their space, and if that space happens to be your landing area, everybody's in trouble.
Yeah.
It's always scary to see.
Do you find yourself not going for rebounds if you have to, like, put yourself in a weird position?
Lars, I'm 54 years old.
Yes.
I don't leave the ground.
There you go. It's smart basketball, right?
About
It's
the
not
only
worth
time,
it. You need to walk the next day, right?
The only time you'll see me leave the ground is when I'm curling to the top of the key looking for a 3 and I've got nobody near me. I drive down the lane, I'm throwing it up like Chris Paul in his final season. From my feet.
Drew Hamilton throws it away.
Jacoby White went 1 for 2. Oh, what a great look by White. Morgan blocked by Brunick. What a move by Trent Brunick to come down and block the Morgan layup attempt. It was a great look by Jacoby White. Nobody even reacted to it. Rambler fans didn't even react to it. And now we're going to get a travel call on Maloney.
That stops the clock to let Grayson Guernsey in, and Skylar Franklin are coming in.
Yep, 61-34, McBain Trio, 3 to go here in the ball game.
Someone else is coming out. Casey Pollington.
Yep. Pollington did his best, but could only commit 3 fouls in the 6 minutes or 5 minutes he got in the game.
I know I do not want to guard Jacoby White, so kudos to him.
Well, Josh Rodenbaugh's got the responsibility now. Taps it away from White. Now White gets to the rim and lays it up and in. From the Jacoby White show in the fourth quarter, he's got all the points for the Wildcats. 61-36, though. Ramblers still in control of this one. Franklin, right-handed dribble, working against the substitution Anthony Vindell. Nice backdoor look from Hamilton to Josh Rodenbaugh, who can't make the layup. And the rebound by Johnson. Johnson the other way around Franklin, lays it up and in.
He may delay a game. So they'll write that in the book, and then if another one happens, it'll be a technical.
Vanderland catching the ball and
tapped it a little bit.
Did he? I didn't see it. I don't know. If you're standing right there, what are you supposed to do? Like, completely avoid touching the ball, I guess?
I guess that's what you're supposed to, right? It's
not your instinct. It's hard to do. 61-38, McBain, 2:20 to go in the ball game as Josh Rodenbaugh trying to get around Vanderland. And now Vanderland will pick up the foul. No, they're going to say it's over and back. Vanderland apparently didn't touch that ball as it went around Skylar Franklin, and so the Ramblers commit the turnover.
I didn't even think Franklin grabbed it back yet before the call.
Yeah, I don't know.
2:15 to go. If McBain can run a minute off of each possession.
Jacoby White lost the handle as Josh Rodenbaugh, nice defense. Skylar Franklin comes up with a loose ball. Rodenbaugh fire for three and knock it down. Josh Rodenbaugh with a Welch's Building LLC triple, 64-38. Here's Vindell looking across the lane for Cody McCoy and loses the handle. Franklin comes up with it, now back to White, who'll fire for three. Back iron, no good. Rebound.
They're going to call a jump?
Call this.
Wow.
Oh, they're going to call a jump ball. Josh Rodenbaugh went up.
Like so far behind him.
I mean, he didn't go over him. He had it up in the air above him. I mean, it's not your fault if you can jump higher than the guy in front of you, right? As long as you don't go through him to get to the ball, it's not over the back. And now somebody's being tossed out of the game.
This is Vanderland. So McBain will shoot a technical. So the AD has to come over and escort the player out.
So with a minute 44.
So is that his second technical? Like, you know what I mean? Like, two technicals will get you out of the game. Was this?
I don't think it was a second technical thing. I think it was just it was egregious enough that he was tossed right there.
Now, in high school, he is not only out the rest of this game.
He missed a half of the next?
Is it just a half or the whole game?
I thought it was a half. I'm not sure.
Another Tim question, right?
It is another Tim question, that's right. Josh Rodenbaugh splits the pair of technical free throws. 65-38 McBain, minute 44 to go.
Rodenbaugh will take a seat, and Pollington is back in.
Ooh, minute 44 to pick up those last two, Kaysen. I'm kidding. That's I say it with love.
Kaysen has it in the corner.
Trying to get it down low to Guernsey. Taken away, though, by Kobe Smith, who's checked into the game for the Wildcats. Kobe with the great goggles look. I love it.
Kind of Kurt Rambis.
Here's Ethan Warren, who's checked into the game. The Ethan Warren I kept referencing earlier. Jet Reedy trying to get around Kaysen Pollington. Comes up short on the shot. Guernsey with the rebound. But Ethan Warren is officially in the game. I feel better now. Franklin on the right wing. Minute 10 to go in the ball game. Guernsey swings it over to Hamilton left side. You got Maloney, Franklin, Guernsey, Hamilton, and Pollington on the floor for the Ramblers. Guernsey gets his pass tapped away by Smith. Out of bounds. It'll remain McBain basketball with 57 seconds left.
Like I said, for the second unit, you know, they want to go in, they want to score, but their job is to run clock and make sure they secure the win. When you're up by 20 points, you don't need to be jacking threes, so it kind of puts them in a tough spot.
Maloney Double team, gets it out to Franklin. Topside Pollington, 40 seconds remaining. And I was just going to say, Smith was going to let him stand there, but the Ramblers will move it around. Guernsey wants to get a shot, and
It's
going to be a foul on the floor. Yeah,
the slap was so loud,
wasn't
he
he
had
just
to call it.
Wasn't he just doing that, slap the rear end? Good job, buddy, as he made the move. That's not what that was.
Casey Pollington got that loose ball, put it up. Basket won't count because the foul was called.
Franklin blocked by Jet Reedy. Loose ball. Guernsey comes up with it. Can't make the layup.
Crowd would have got
Ends up in the hands of Maloney. 15 seconds left. Maloney with a crossover. Maloney's shot blocked by the side of the rim and then off of Maloney and out of bounds. It'll be Wildcat basketball. 13.3 ticks remaining in this one. Ethan Warren will bring it over half court. Over to Vindell. Vindell back to Warren. 7 seconds. Into the corner. Smith pump fake and then tripped up by Guernsey.
He's going to the line.
And he is going to the line. With 3.1 seconds remaining in this one, Kobe Smith with a chance to get in the books. He'll get in the books with 2 circles anyway, but to get in the books with a point.
It'd be nice to fill those circles in.
Sure would. That's right. He's in my book officially already with 2 circles. Not a bad looking free throw, but comes up just a little short. Smith, second freebie, is good. Fill one of those circles, and that will do it. 65-39, your final, as the McBain Ramblers close out a huge win as they look to secure another Highland Conference title. We'll take a break, collect our stats and thoughts. The Kelly's Pizza and Grill postgame show coming your way right after this.
McLean Transmissions in Lake City services vehicles, foreign and domestic, specializing in transmissions, transfer cases, differentials, high-performance driveline, 4x4s, clutches, and computer diagnostics. For anything transmission and quality used cars, it's McLean Transmissions on LaChance Road between Cadillac and Lake City. Call 231-779-1394. That's 231-779-1394.
Truck Brokers of Cadillac has a new name and location. Allen's Auto and RV can now be found at the former Galvanics on M55 west of Cadillac. Here's what hasn't changed. A lot full of rust-free trucks, cars, and SUVs brought right here to the Cadillac area from southern and western climates that aren't harsh on vehicle bodies. The friendly service you've come to expect hasn't changed either. You'll also find a great selection of budget-friendly choices, plus a salvage yard offering used parts to the public, RV service, and outdoor storage. Allen's Auto and RV, M55 west of Cadillac. High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be. L&J Meat Market is just about the closest you can get to farm-to-table dining. Fill your freezer and fire up the grill with the exceptional taste and quality that only locally sourced meat can provide. Meat from L&J is carefully processed and prepared to be the freshest and most flavorful you'll taste. And L&J is committed to supporting local farmers. Buy by the pound or fill your freezer with money-saving beef, chicken, or sampler bundles and eat for months on end. L&J Meat Market is a proud supporter of McBain Rambler Sports, Maury Road, just south of Lake City. With over 20 years of WIC construction under his belt, Welch Buildings owner and president Nick Welch has built a company based on the values that helped him earn multiple awards from WIC and a growing list of happy customers. From tool sheds to dairy barns, Welch Buildings has an experienced crew team with a diverse set of subcontractors to expertly handle heating, plumbing, and concrete. See for yourself at welchbuildings.com and call for a quote. 740-403-5354. Welch Buildings of Luther.
And welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars, Mr. McBain Fradine. Gary Hawkeye Vanna enjoying time with his granddaughter. No doubt listening to us because What can you really do with a baby for so long anyway, right? Come on, he's got to be listening to us. Connor Hammer, our producer and engineer, turned the dials for us back in the studio. Game 2 of our doubleheader ends with a 65-39 victory for the McBain Ramblers. So these two schools splitting it on the night. The girls dropping a 47-38 decision to Everett. McBain's boys with a convincing 65-39 win in the nightcap. The Ramblers move to, I believe, 15-1 on the season. Yes, they are 12-1 in conference play. As we mentioned earlier, they control their destiny in the Highland Conference. They've got Northern Michigan Christian at home, Roscommon and Pine River on the road remaining in conference play. If they can run that slate, they will have another outright Highland Conference title. One of two things that are important to head coach Bruce Copeman. I always joke with Copeman that back when they would play 20 games, he wouldn't mind if they went 14-6 every year, as long as they ran the slate in the Highland Conference and then made a deep run in the postseason. The conference, most important to him, I think he likes to win non-conference games, but I think he looks at those more as opportunities for building up his team, figuring some things out for the postseason run. But
And he's definitely done a good job in conference and district. Our trophy case, our trophies are turned sideways just to try to fit them in there now. So if you're coming back to look at your picture and a trophy, you might have to, break into the glass and turn it.
Right, no doubt about that. This is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill postgame show. Ramblers jumped out to a 19-9 lead after the first quarter thanks to 3 triples from Aiden Cucci, who broke things open. Colton Haverkamp added a 4th Welch's Building LLC triple. And then the Ramblers gave him a heavy dose of Clayton Hooker down low as Hooker went off for 8 points in the second quarter as the Ramblers jumped out to a 40-18 halftime lead. They were up 61-26 through 3 quarters of play, and then did very little in the fourth quarter except take care of the ball, which is what Bruce Copeman wants them to do. Run down the scoring for you. For the Wildcats, they were paced by Jacoby White, finishes with a game-high 19 points, including 10 in the fourth quarter. They get 7 out of Noah Vanderland, 5 from Jet Reedy, 3 from Lucas Johnson, a bucket apiece from Dryson Derscheid and Asen Morgan, and Kobe Smith goes 1 of 2 from the charity stripe to round out the scoring for the Wildcats, who were 8 of 13 from the line. Meanwhile, the Ramblers get 18 out of Clayton Hooker, 11 from Ben Rodenbaugh. The vast majority of that, 7 of those points coming from the free throw line. They get 9 from Aiden Cucci on those first quarter triples. 9 as well from Colton Haverkamp, 8 out of Joshua Rodenbaugh, 6 from Trent Brunick, 4 from Brett Ealing to round out the scoring for the Ramblers, who go 14 of 25 from the free throw line. That's your Northern Truck Service not so deep dive into the stats. Without Hawkeye, I don't have all the other stuff because I don't expect anybody else to do that. Hawkeye just enjoys making little notch marks for rebounds and assists, and he does a really nice job with it, without question. Well, this version of the Ramblers, Lars, and I'm oversimplifying, but the Clayton Hooker down low, the offensive rebounding that the Ramblers are able to do, the defensive pressure they put on other teams, and then if they're getting the three-point shooting out of Cucci and Rodenbaugh and Haverkamp and Rodenbaugh, they're a tough team to beat.
That's the impossible combination to stop, right? So really nice job with all facets of the game. It's hard to point out a weakness on them. Maybe
free throw shooting, free throw shooting, yeah. Ball handling, to me, they haven't had a true give me the rock and nobody's taking it from me ball handler since Logan Nemeth.
Yeah.
But they make up for it. Ben Rodenbaugh is a good ball handler. I just don't think he's a great ball handler, and I think he can be pressured by teams that have really good on-ball defenders. But their height and their size, their ability to pass over pressure is what really helps them out in that situation. But I do think if there's anything you can point to, I think that to a certain extent, and then again, free throw shooting, which is a little weird because they are good. They are a good shooting team. They haven't been able. I'm not sure of any high school team that shoots
perfect,
much better
right?
than 60-65% of the line, but those are about it. And then, like you said, depth is an issue because they're really going
Their rotation.
eight
Yeah.
comfortably.
Yep. And they could go more, and these kids are getting, the top 6 kids are getting a lot of time, getting a lot of, like, physicality, endurance, those type of things. You said Rodenbaugh doesn't get tired. I think you're right. I don't think he gets tired.
I've never seen him breathing hard. It's just, well, you think about who comes off the bench for them. Josh Rodenbaugh is certainly the first one, and Trent Brunick are the first two off the bench. But I'll tell you what, I have been really impressed with Drew Hamilton and his defense, and we talked a little bit about it tonight. He had 3 blocks in that second half.
And they were great blocks, too.
Great blocks. He's long and athletic, and I think if he's doing everything the way that Copeman wants him to do, he's somebody you can trust to come off the bench and at least give you good defensive minutes. He might not be much of an offensive threat, but he'll give you good defensive minutes, which is really important for a team that focuses on defense and rebounding first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everything runs through that, and that was kind of the key tonight too. With the defense for Everett was pretty strong. They were going to stop Clayton Hooker, and all of a sudden it opened up some double teams on Hooker. Aiden Cucci starts hitting a 3.
Yep.
Then another 3. Then another 3. Haverkamp hit another one in there.
Yep.
And that really was the key to opening up the game. So then, after you have to defend the 3, hey, guess what? Clayton Hooker got 18 points inside. So really a nice. How are you going to stop this team?
Yeah. Yep. There's no question about it. They are seem to be hitting their stride as they close out this regular season. They got a great test coming up on Tuesday as they take on the Cadillac Vikings at Cadillac, and that's a game that you'll be able to hear either over on our sister station, 107.1 The Drive with Bill and Todd, or you can tune in here, 107.9 CDY, and listen to what we think is a little bit of history. The first female play-by-play broadcaster in Northern Michigan high school sports broadcasting. We're not positive of that. We think that may be the case.
McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is now featuring new healthcare services, including walk-in testing, online appointments for COVID and flu testing, and vaccines. McBain and LC Family Pharmacy is your first and one-stop for your family's health. Go to McBainFamilyPharmacy.com to set up your appointment today and see the difference local makes. Proud local supporter of the McBain Ramblers.
McLean Transmissions in Lake City services vehicles, foreign and domestic, specializing in transmissions, transfer cases, differentials, high-performance driveline, 4x4s, clutches, and computer diagnostics. For anything transmission and quality used cars, it's McLean Transmissions on LaChance Road between Cadillac and Lake City. Call 231-779-1394. That's 231-779-1394.
McBain Schools thanks the entire community for your unwavering support of your students' education and the passing of our bond and sinking fund initiatives. Your generosity has led to significant improvements, including a new track, secure entries, a new middle school gym floor, maintaining one-to-one technology, new buses, and more. This is just the start, as your contributions will continue to fund countless projects in the future. Your commitment to McBain Schools is inspiring. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, where students learn locally and compete globally. L&J Meat Market is just about the closest you can get to farm-to-table dining. Fill your freezer and fire up the grill with the exceptional taste and quality that only locally sourced meat can provide. Meat from L&J is carefully processed and prepared to be the freshest and most flavorful you'll taste. And L&J is committed to supporting local farmers. Buy by the pound or fill your freezer with money-saving beef, chicken, or sampler bundles, and eat for months on end. L&J Meat Market is a proud supporter of McBain Ramblers Sports, Maury Road, just south of Lake City. Truck Brokers of Cadillac has a new name and location. Allen's Auto and RV can now be found at the former Galvanics on M55 west of Cadillac. Here's what hasn't changed. A lot full of rust-free trucks, cars, and SUVs brought right here to the Cadillac area from southern and western climates that aren't harsh on vehicle bodies. The friendly service you've come to expect hasn't changed either. You'll also find a great selection of budget-friendly choices, plus a salvage yard offering used parts to the public, RV service, and outdoor storage. Allen's Auto and RV, M55 west of Cadillac.
Welcome back to Everett High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Ferdine. This is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. We had a little bit of an internet blip there, so our sincere apologies, but we are back on the air. And we are wrapping things up here from Everett High School, where the McBain Ramblers put the finishing touches on a 65-39 victory. We need to come up with an Napa Auto and Truck Parts, Cadillac, Big Rapids, and Lake City play of the game. And as I was saying before we fell off the air, Lars, quite a few options as we paid better attention in the boys' game than we did in the girls' game. We forgot. We're so used to Hawkeye doing all that. We forgot that we needed to do that. There are a lot of possibilities in this one, but this is why we pay you the big bucks, is to come up with this. So
some of the nominees would be like Clayton Hooker's post moves, reboundings. I think of a Rodenbaugh scoop and score. He almost had one with the left hand. He definitely had one with the right hand.
Oh, the left no look almost. The little took the body shot and almost threw it up over the left head. Yeah.
He had some nice passes in there for teammates, but I think I'm going to go with this player who actually had 3 of these plays, and they were all blocks. So we're going to go with Drew Hamilton. He had at least one block that was amazing, and the other 2 are like, yeah, we got to go with him because of the 3 total blocks. So Drew Hamilton is your Napa Auto and Truck Parts, Cadillac, Big Rapids, and Lake City play of the game with just 3 blocks.
I think the first was my favorite as he got Anderson, wide open, gorgeous look from White. And Anderson came over, and Hamilton just erased it off the top of the backboard and collected the loose ball. So there you go. Drew Hamilton's block party, your Napa Auto and Truck Parts, Cadillac, Big Rapids, and Lake City play of the game. And that leaves us with the most exciting 15 seconds in all of high school sports broadcasting. That is, of course, the Hawkeye Player of the Game, brought to you by Boz Design Company. The winner will receive a gift card courtesy of Twisted Cow. Everybody is sitting in their cars waiting with bated breath to find out who this is going to be.
Like the gym is practically empty.
Yeah,
all
everybody,
the players
this
are like,
is what they want. Yeah.
Why am I riding the bus home? There's no radio.
Well, they've got it on their phone right now. They're listening through the YouTube link, thanks to McLean Transmissions. Don't let them wait any longer, Lars. We've got some good possibilities.
Set it up a little bit
Absolutely.
too. So you got Ben Rodenbaugh running the show. He had some great assists, 11 points. You got Clayton Hooker getting 18 points inside. But those 18 points inside would not have been possible without the 3-point shooting and the 3 threes from Aiden Cucci, who is going to be your Boss Design Company and Hawkeye Player of the Game. Because of those outside shots, Hooker was able to go inside and get 18 points down low. But it all started with Aiden Cucci's 3 threes.
I love it. There you go. The 3 triples in the first quarter for Aiden Cucci and his excellent defensive effort tonight. We'll throw that in there for him as well. But he is your Hawkeye Player of the Game, brought to you by Boz Design Company. Make sure you stop in and see Hawkeye for your gift card, courtesy of Twisted Cow. Well, Lars, any final thoughts on this one?
Well, 2 fun games to watch, both for conference leads. Everett girls showed up and really got it done, and McBain boys just dominated with their transition game, their 3-point shooting, their inside game. So all in all, fun night of basketball, and we knew it would be.
That's going to do it for us from Everett High School. For our producer and engineer, Connor Hammer, for Lars Ferdine, I'm Jay Simon. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, folks. We will see you on Tuesday night as the Ramblers make the short drive west to Cadillac to take on the Vikings in a big non-conference tilt. That game will feature a special guest play-by-play announcer. We've mentioned her already. Izzy Roosevelt will be joining me on the mic for her play-by-play debut here on the station you can only catch it on, your home for McBain and NMC basketball. Cadillac's best mix of the 80s, 90s, 2K and today, 107.9 CDY.
Good night, girls.
This McBain Rambler broadcast on 107.9 CDY and stream on 107.9CDY.com has been sponsored by Kelly's Pizza and Grill, Pluger Mechanical, Northern Truck Service, McBain and LC Family Pharmacy, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, Jared Huttinga Electric, the Wexford Missaukee Career Technical Center, McBain Hardware, Burkholder Family Funeral Home, Voss Design, Napa Auto and Truck Parts of Cadillac, Big Rapids, and Lake City, L&J Meat Market, McBain Auto and Truck Center and Chad Allen Auto Sales, Welch Buildings, and McLean Transmission and Auto Sales. Join us next time for McBain Rambler Basketball on 107.9 CDY.